You know the vibes. Today on Litty Talk, we got Kadon and Tito from Black Label Xchange Podcast.
What up?
I see the shirt already too. Yeah, already brand new.
A little something.
We gotta start getting those out, man. We get one of those for the show.
Yeah, you know what? We got you, bro.
We got you, bro.
Matter of fact, he designs, him and his wife, they do all the design on the shirts, graphics.
We're gonna get into that because I look at the graphic there. So listen, I'm a drinker. I thought you were gonna bring the panty dropper today.
Oh shit! I ain't even. You know what? That even crossed my mind.
We should have had
if you would have reminded me, I would have brought that, man.
I wanted to blow your mind and just tell you that I know about this shit.
Yes, sir.
Does it really not give you? Oh, you want to look at it again?
Yeah, that's the real deal.
You told me to look at it, right?
No, you got this one. You gonna look at it.
Baby, B-rolling. Yeah. That's
what.
So what's the name of it?
Is a Shie Pantalet.
So you really don't get hangovers from this?
Nah, I haven't got a hangover on that. Not yet.
Tito, you drank that before?
Yeah, definitely.
I've been drinking that for
occasions.
I've been drinking that for like maybe 7 years.
Nah, that's the real deal right there. That's like some homegrown type shit right there.
Like some moonshine, like some bootleg.
How is it made? You can't say.
I just drink it.
Okay. Well, listen. Next time we meet up, I gotta get a bottle.
I gotta make sure I bring one for you, man.
So
if I would have known, I would have brought one for you for sure, bro.
You my witness.
Listen,
wait. The shirt and the panty drop.
Okay.
It's a body oil.
We got you.
Huh?
It's a body oil.
I was gonna ask for that when I got to that, but you know what? Adding on there too.
All right.
Adding on, give me some free gift. I was gonna add that when we got to that part. For sure.
We got you.
So let's start straight off. Tito, Richmond Heights, Kadon, Lil Haiti. I know Kadon got some history in Lil Haiti, and we're gonna get back on that. But Tito, talk to us about Richmond Heights growing up there.
Well, Richmond Heights, it's a dear town to me. That's my family's legacy on my father's side.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather, he opened one of the first grocery stores in Richmond Heights. This is back in the late 50s, early 60s. And, you got to keep in mind, if you go back to that time period, it was still segregation. Mm-hmm. So until then, you had to travel to shop if you were black. Everything from 117th back, that was all woods. There wasn't nothing back there. You know what I mean? So, but my grandfather he pretty much, even to now, he's the one that instilled the entrepreneurial spirit in my whole family. Like all my uncles only on business. My father, he's on many business, in his time. And that permeated through the whole family. So that's a big thing. My grandfather, he was also like a big shit talker, you could say. You know what I mean? I always say if he grew up in nowadays, he probably would have been a rapper or something, you know what I mean?
Confident, he was confident.
Definitely. But he also was good-hearted because even back in those days, he created a credit system where he had people on a list, credit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so even in those days, he was already thinking forward. And, in that time, it's kind of crazy. When he first got together with the people, they kind of laughed at him when he was like, well, we need to build our own businesses. They laughed at him. Mm-hmm. And then he said, all right, well, whatever. He went and did his own thing. And that spanned, like, he ran it for 20 years. Then he ended up renting it out and then opened another one down in Goulds. And, and these are things in the family that's not the one in the Heights no more, but there's still things in the family. Mm-hmm. And just that seed he planted, it grew into the whole family. So, that's what got me my mentality now. I try to, everything by hand, make things, create things. You know what I mean?
Right. So. And that's dope because just creating something and being able to expand is a big, something to have on your belt, because you could open up a store, hold the store for 60, 70 years, and now he opened up one, then opened up another one. Right. So just expanding, I think that's always a big shock for me to say, "Dad, you really did it, bro."
Right.
Like you did it one time and then you did it again. So
right.
Shout out to definitely.
Shout out to the Andersons for sure.
Kadon, Lil Haiti.
Yeah. Before we take it to Lil Haiti, I'm also originally from Richmond Heights too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is TP from Richmond Heights? Any of you TP Miller, Bobby? Was he from Richmond Heights?
That Negro imported. I don't know where.
He's a comedian. He's from Richmond Heights.
It's a few of them out there.
Okay,
you got Ashley, Smokey Robinson.
You from Richmond Heights as well?
I'm from Richmond Heights. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm from Richmond Heights. Yeah. Like I said, left the hospital and came straight to the Heights. You know what I mean? But also, by the time I hit by age 6, my father had his own business. Mm-hmm. He was a dental technician. He had his own company. Oh, shit. He started doing good in the 80s. You know what I mean? So he bought another house actually down in Country Walk. which is not too far from Richmond Heights.
Yeah.
So we had 2 houses now. You know what I mean? In about 2 years span, he brought my grandmother in. My grandmother's she lived in Queens, New York.
Okay.
Campbell Heights.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time in the summers in Campbell Heights, Queens. She came down to Miami, packed up, left, sold a house in New York, came down to Miami, and I was able to continue, going back to Richmond Heights, continue the schools and everything was going to, in that district. So to fast forward, what got me involved with Lil Haiti is just that, as life, I ended up getting married, kids, after 5 years, me and the wife split up. She ended up going to North Carolina. I ended up coming down to Miami, so I ended up actually moving down to Little Haiti.
Okay.
To one of my grandfather's homes on 46th Street.
So your grandfather owns multiple in Little Haiti?
Yeah. My grandfather, grandmother had multiple homes in Little Haiti, area. So the 46th Street is more where they started off when he ended up moving from New York to Miami. So it was kind of dope because I never really knew about the house on 46th Street. I knew about the house on 53rd Street.
You know about that one?
I didn't know about that one too much. You know what I mean? So when I came down, they was like, "Yeah, man, house on 46th Street." I was like, "What are you talking about? House on 46th Street?"
Was that one better or?
It's much bigger.
Much bigger. Okay,
it was much bigger.
So you lucked out.
Yeah, but it's still Little Haiti.
Right.
And living kind of like Little Haiti Design District, but
right.
at the time it's still considered Little Haiti. And that's pretty much, man, where I started. Kind of rebuilt my whole life again, man, in Little Haiti. I moved to Little Haiti in 2010.
Right.
I came down and when I came down, I ain't gonna lie to you, she was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like any person trying to bounce back or just trying to maintain whatever's being shooken up. So in the process of bouncing back, man, when I got to Little Haiti, I had to come up with a game plan. One thing about me, I'm gonna take some hits and I'm gonna lick my wounds, but I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna figure some shit out and come back out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Every time.
That's
bounce back game is serious.
Mandatory.
Right,
I mean, but that's why you're still standing.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Because of that mentality. Because
For sure.
if you had loser in your blood, you wouldn't have got up.
Yeah, and that's true. And let me tell you this, man. Thank God for my uncle Patrick. Very well known in Little Haiti, Uncle P. He he kind of helped me get my mind together, rebuilt me. Pretty much told me, listen, every man goes through this process. But the most important thing that you're gonna learn from this process is that you're gonna bounce back.
Yes.
Come out that depression. Like he literally took me out of depression.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And put me back on my feet and got me going the right direction. So I always take my hat off to him.
Shout out to Uncle P.
Uncle P.
Shout out. So it starts there.
So we got Richmond Heights, Kendall, and Lil Haiti, and a little. Did you ever make it to North Carolina? Did you get up there?
To live?
Yeah.
Nah. But I go up there to visit the kids.
Okay.
Somewhat. So, but right now, Little Haiti. So pretty much what I've been doing for the past, from 2010 to now, 2024, accomplished a lot. In that community. When I first got there, I had a company with the body oils. So what I did was I started putting my body oils into the stores, the local stores in Little Haiti. Put them in the store on 45th Street and North Miami Avenue, like a back store, the hood store everybody goes to.
Yeah. Well, they sell the CDs too back in the days.
All that shit. They had all kind of
the
shit.
The back was
on.
a CD spot. We didn't go to Specs and none of that. We went to
yeah. And you hit that store, you get everything you need.
See, I'm old enough to know what Specs is.
For sure. We had the hood Specs.
Yeah, we had the hood Specs. Yeah.
That's a brother with the hoodie.
Right.
A whole bunch of CDs.
Right. Just had a 5 for 20 game.
5 for 20.
See, we walked in the Specs. They probably thought like we was going to steal some shit.
Right,
we walked in the Specs. We felt comfortable
that.
going to the hood store because we could sit and look through. You go to Specs, they follow you on every corner looking at it.
Right. But the only thing about the hood CDs is that you got people walking in the middle of the damn film.
Like the DVD, like the movies.
Yeah. Niggas walking through the middle of the film, some of the popcorn and shit. Like damn. To come back to Little Haiti, man. So basically, what I've accomplished in that community was something that I took personal, and one of the things that I sought out to is to make sure I preserve my grandparents' legacy.
Yes.
In that community.
Yes.
I didn't really understand, growing up with my family, visiting my Little Haiti side of the family during the summer, through the weeks and stuff like that. I never realized how big of an impact my grandfather was to the community.
Influential.
Yeah, he was very heavy influence and very connected too, because when you know your family from a family perspective, all you know is your family from a family perspective.
Right.
But even though I knew his ties to the community, I used to hear him on the radio station, see him on the news, and
you didn't really know it.
I didn't really know the insides of what was really going on. Going to Le Voisin, he in the shop. Sometimes I can't even go up to his office upstairs Because they're like, nah, that ain't happening to me. You can't
Some
go up
business up there.
He was verified. He was verified before the blue check.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
He was a very. But the thing about my grandfather was crazy because he was a very serious guy.
Right.
But he was also goofy at times with the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would do crazy stuff, say crazy things, make you laugh. But when it came to handling his business, he was like no nonsense.
That's like my guy Robbie Joe right there.
Yeah, you know.
Robbie Joe, if you didn't know, he loves comedy, but you'll never know. Every time you see him.
Yeah, look, he ain't even smiling now.
His favorite
thing.
Yeah, because his favorite thing is comedy. But if you didn't know,
Right.
you just think like, damn, what makes this dude happy? You don't never smile.
Nah, that's real. I mean, it's sort of like we were just talking, like the way we take the Black Label Xchange Podcast or whatever we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my thing I say is we're gonna have fun, but it's not a joke.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like
Correct.
we take it serious.
Yeah, for sure.
We still gonna have fun, but it's not a joke. You
It's
know
like
what
work.
I mean?
I mean, you
Right.
don't want to think of it like work, but it is like work. I mean, you don't want to go to a job and feel like you're miserable all day. So you got
Right. You gotta
make it relatable, make the best out of
Exactly.
it. But we ain't fucking off.
Exactly.
We
We're
still
gonna
gotta go.
have fun, but we're gonna still do what we gotta do. You know what I mean?
It's that saying that people say whistle while you work.
Yeah.
That's what we
yeah.
got to do. We got to whistle while we work because we already know the challenges that we face.
Facts.
No matter what we're doing, the job, podcast, just taking care of the family, just everyday living. But if you allow that pressure to get to you every single day, man, what type of individual
Right.
are you?
You broke.
Oh,
You broke. You're just
you're
broken.
done.
You're completely broken.
You're useless.
Yeah, useless.
Exactly.
Useless to the
'Cause
family,
everything you
useless
go
to
through,
yourself,
you can
useless.
everything you go through, you can use. Like I forgot who said it, but they were saying I don't take losses. It's either a win or a lesson.
Lesson. That's
You
what
know what I mean?
I say it all the time. Yeah.
Because all of the toughest shit you ever been through, if you take it and learn from it, it can actually be the biggest blessing.
Right.
You
I
know
mean,
what
I think the only time you lose is when you quit.
Exactly.
That's my opinion.
Exactly.
Right.
Nah, I agree with that. For
You know,
sure.
you could not succeed in a boxing match,
Mm-hmm.
but if you quit after that and just say I don't want to fight no more, I say I lost this, that, then you lost. But if you try and come back and
Exactly.
do it again, yeah, that was a lesson. That wasn't a loss.
Like there's a story. It's a book. I think it's by Napoleon Hill. Think Rich, Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
There's a story where it says called 3 Feet from Gold. With these guys, they were digging for gold when they gave up, but in actuality, they were only 3 feet away from it. If they would have just kept going, they would have struck it.
That's
You know
what
what I mean?
But that's what I tell people in my podcast too, and it's the same thing as I tell people. It's like, Willie, you've been doing this. I said, first of all, I do it because I love it. But second of all, how the fuck do I look quitting today, and then tomorrow would have been the day these people would have said,
right.
"Yo, we want to buy you. We want to buy that."
Exactly.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
got sponsorship for it.
Fuck, like
Right.
you would have never knew. Tito, 13 different restaurants you've worked at, from fast food to upper echelon, games,
That boy been working.
TV shows, videos, music videos, many journeys you've been around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I might as well leave and come back.
Let me make it more simple. What came first, the entertainment or the cooking?
I'll say the cooking came first. See, my mother, she passed about 12 years ago now, but my mother was like an outstanding cook. And so I get that from my mom from the early days. I just always had something. I was a chubby kid all my life, and I used to love eating, so I used to like cook. At a young age, I was cooking, like 6, 7, I used to start cooking.
All right.
So I get that from my mom. And just the entertainment always just been a part of me too. And I think that part I kind of get from my mom as well, because she had a singing group back in her, this is back in the 60s.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
So I get, that type of stuff. My mom spoke 4 languages, so those type of things I get from my mom's side, definitely. As far as the business side, the entrepreneurial spirit in me, that's definitely from my dad's side, with my grandfather, who I just spoke about. But I look at myself. I try to, like I said earlier, I like doing things with my hand. I like to go to YouTube University. You need to learn some shit. I learn it myself. I taught myself how to do graphics, all of that type of stuff. And I just got a love for it, man. They say like I'm a jack of all trades. You know what I mean? But I just like to experience different things and just and be part of the creative process of stuff.
Jack of all trades is funny because in my notes I had you as the Renaissance man.
Okay, for sure.
So do you remember the first meal you cooked and then your first gourmet meal? So the first meal you cooked in general, and then your first gourmet meal. I want to hear both of them.
Right. Now, okay. First meal I cooked.
Yeah.
I was probably this sounds crazy. I was literally probably like 6, 7 years old, and I made my parents like breakfast in bed.
Okay.
Like eggs, bacon. maybe that shit was like fucked up and I didn't realize, and they were just like, good job. But that's the one I remember as being the first time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But as far as gourmet meals, I used to work at this spot called Postabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And this shit was like a little Italian restaurant. It was over there on like Kendall Drive in 117th. It was back in like the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, I remember that spot.
And it was like a little gang. It was the first time my homeboy got me the job there. I was a bus boy at first there. But it was my first experience with like Italian food and like this type of stuff. But I remember this is back then before everybody had cell phones.
Right.
And I remember it was just like this whole family. They were like some mob type dudes.
Right.
Everybody was on a cell phone. Like everybody at the table back then. So it was like, what the, you know what I mean? Right. And it was that type of restaurant where, you know, it's like families come in. Like they're not even like, they weren't like just open like that to the public.
Right.
So that was like my first feel for that type of restaurant. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, just.
What'd you cook?
Well, first place I actually cooked was this place called Docks on the Bay. This is on like Aventura. Mm-hmm. The funny thing, my wife, my girlfriend at the time, she was like, okay, I can hook you up with a job. You cook and all. I was like, yeah, I cook. Man, I'd never been on the grill at the time. She was like, yeah, but I got the job. But I learned quick. The dude trained me.
That's that hustler mentality. Right.
We were
just talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't learn today. I'm gonna figure that shit out.
Exactly. So, you know, I jumped on, I learned, and then from there it was on. I worked at from front of the house to kitchen manager to like every position in the restaurant I've done, from bartending to everything. So like, I can literally just, like, if I want to start a small restaurant, off the top of my head, I can tell you everything we'll need, all the whole logistics, from ordering cups to the food to all of that.
Right.
And, you know, I just got a passion for it. You know what I mean?
You got a similar story to, you know, Tacos and Tattoos in Kendall?
Tacos and Tattoos.
You ever heard of it? It's like the most popping. Go check it out.
How long they been in business?
So I think I interviewed the owner, and it's been 5 years. His story's inspiring because he's a young cat.
I just moved to Atlanta 6 years ago, so that's probably why.
Check it out because it's literally everywhere. But he had the same story. He's a DJ, but he liked the nightlife, so he worked at different restaurants all over the place. And he said, "How can I have these tattoos on my face, have this, that, and the other, and still make a living and things like that?" And he opened up this place. When you get time, watch the interview. It's on my page. But his story, I mean, he beat COVID. And we're talking about a 30-something-year-old kid that owns this restaurant. No disrespect to my kid. I'm 37, so, you know, a lot of people take it respect. But he's just a fucking genius and one of the humblest guys. And you won't know he's the owner. You go in there, he's hanging out, drinking, hanging out, and you, hey, my name is this. I own the place. I'm like, and he does a amateur DJ night every Friday. It's a dope spot. Check it out. How did you get into the industry, in the entertainment industry, the music and all that? Well, you were on a music video there, you know?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Actually, a couple. Well, okay, the way that works, there was this. Like, first of all, kind of had to take it back.
Take it back.
Got to go all the way to the high school days.
Okay.
Take it back.
Yeah. Where'd you go, to Southridge?
Nah, Killian.
Yeah.
I got my peoples went to Southridge, but yeah, I'm Killian. Yeah,
okay.
We from the Heights,
so
everybody.
Don't get too hard, y'all. So don't give me too much.
Okay. Well, I'll just. Me and him, we started doing music in high school, so that's kind of the start of the entertainment part.
Gotcha.
But just to fast forward as far as how I got into the videos, there was this audition I went down. It was a building, I forgot the building, like near the Miami Hero building.
That's that 555 building.
Right, there's all kind of studios and all kind of people in there. So we went down, I did the audition for a movie called The Next Hit. So I went in there, when I first got in there, they had a table with a whole bunch of scripts. So I grabbed like 3, but I was like, you know what, let me just learn one of these real good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So by the time I do the audition, I can memorize it, and that way I can focus on the actual acting part.
Right.
So, boom, I did that. I did the audition. I felt it went good. I used to work at the Improv Comedy Club back in the day. So just so happened, is this comedian named Angry Man from Miami. He used to be on BT, Comic View, and stuff like that. But just so happened in the audition, he was auditioning with me. So when we saw, it was like, hey, what's up? So then the chemistry was straight in the audition. 2 weeks later, I get a call. Hey, you know, we want you to be in the movie for your part. Boom, it was tight. So
you humble about it, but that's
definitely. I mean, and that's one thing we always stay humble. You know what I mean?
That's a humble brother.
That's how we do it. You know, when it's time to get wild, we do our thing. Don't get me wrong.
So we celebrate.
Right.
Humble.
Right. We ain't gonna be an asshole about it, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
So not just to make the story short, but so we, you know, I did the shooting. It was like about a week or so, and then I built a good relationship with the executive producer of the movie. my boy Antoine Smith, he was the director of the movie. Yeah. And because he's the one that pretty much hit me up, was like, yeah, you know, boom, boom, boom. So while filming, there was this one little part I do like, because I play a rapper in the movie. It's called The Next Hit, and I spit like 4 bars. So the executive producer during editing was like, hey, I kind of like this dude. Let's see if we can get him on the soundtrack.
Oh shit!
Right. So
are you a part of this?
Nah, but I watched it.
Right.
You a part of it then. You a part of it.
I came to like.
Right. He came to history. Yeah, he was at the premiere with me and all that shit.
Studio, Circle House.
Right.
Yeah, I support.
Right, he was there the first. Yeah, exactly. So, we did this the call I got. Right. Boy Antoine hit me up. He goes, yo, Sim, I know it's last minute. I got 2 things to ask you. I was dropping my oldest son off. He was a kid at that time. He's like, yo, I know it's short minute. He was like, but on short notice, but we filming the Plies 100 Years video tomorrow. Are you available? I said, hell yeah, I'm available. He was like, all right. And the other thing, they're doing the editing. They like the little part you rap, so they want to know if you want to be on the soundtrack. So I'm getting this in one phone call. You know what I mean? and that's how I pretty much started. So once I did the movie, then Antoine Smith, he was doing, he would do a couple videos for other people. So if there was a part that kind of fit me, he'd be like, hey, there's a part, see if you know, boom, boom, boom. Right. So that's pretty much how I got into the movie and the videos. So and
that was the
like
step
that.
into the industry, the entertainment business.
Right.
And last one for you is, I seen the French dip, I seen the pot roast.
Okay.
Pot roast.
Well, he did his homework.
Yeah.
I honestly, I've been trying to make a good.
No joke.
I've been trying to make a good gravy for like a pot roast type shit like that. So I took some notes from you on that.
Okay.
And I cook too.
Okay,
I'm not a chef,
work.
but I cook. I've been cooking. Every relationship I've been from my ex-wife to now, like I've been the cook of the house. They don't touch the kitchen. I touch the kitchen.
Nice. Right.
But I want to ask you, what is your favorite dish to cook? Like you cook and people be like, God damn, like
that's
this.
That's the easy one. My very first video on YouTube, chicken parmesan.
Chicken parmesan.
Yeah, I call it
Kadon,
chicken parm supreme.
Yeah.
It's good?
Oh, man. I don't have many of the dishes.
Is that your favorite too that he makes? Or?
That's one of them. That's one of them. Yeah, he got this sandwich that they make.
We call it the Rick and Morty.
The Rick and Morty sandwich. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you some. Okay, this is like some off to the left shit.
I benefit off of it.
Right. You know, because I stay up in Atlanta now. You know, like I said, but man, we actually started a DoorDash restaurant out the crib.
Wow.
Called Munchies.
Yeah.
And if you look at this shit on DoorDash, you would never know. Like I said, I do graphics, so I got the menu set up, and people like literally. I got my jigs. We get the order in, you know, on the tablet.
Work, everybody.
We packing, everybody working.
Free labor.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And we had this sample. At first, we started off like the virtual cookie lady or candy lady, where we only sold candy because we use their brands instead of us trying to come up with our original. Everybody knows Snickers. Everybody knows Doritos.
Yeah.
So Coca-Cola, you know what I mean?
Easy.
Right. So we started off there, but then my wife suggested we do a sandwich or something like that. So we created a sandwich, it's like a club sandwich. We call it the Rick and Morty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Just with the whole Munchies theme, the 420 type thing.
Right.
And man, it was to the point where the whole neighborhood was lit off the sandwich. Like we had people knocking on our door. Hey, y'all ain't open today. Like we don't see you closing door there. Y'all know. Like I mean a sandwich.
Trap booming.
Right? Yeah. Like literally.
I thought he was bullshit at first.
And he came and saw the shit.
With a sandwich.
Okay.
I came up
he
there.
saw the shit in person.
So, and he made one. Him and his wife made one for me. Lady B, shout out to Lady B. They made one for
Fire.
me. Oh man, I was like, damn. I said, bro, let me get another one. Every time I leave Atlanta and I'm driving back to Miami, bro, do me a favor, bro, just make a sandwich for me.
Hell yeah.
You know the vibes is Litty Willie from Litty Productions. I want to thank everybody that's been supporting us, sharing, liking, commenting, doing all that good stuff. Just to let y'all know, we got Instagram live videos, we got YouTube videos, we got all kinds of different productions. That's why we call ourselves Litty Productions. Make sure y'all hit me up if y'all looking for something at Litty Willie _, Litty Show Productions on Instagram, all that good stuff. Just make sure you hit me up. We out.
It's the Litty Show, the Litty Show.
You know the fucking vibes, man.
Now, Tito, before we close out with you, Greedy Graphics, talk to me about it.
Okay, Greedy Graphics, pretty much. That's my graphics company. That's where I do all the editing. You know, I do the editing for our show, podcast. I do all my editing for
living shit right
here.
In real life.
Exactly. Design the logo for Black Label Xchange and Tito's Kitchen. My wife has his personal 305 where she does crafting. You know, I did the logo for her, and we do a lot of collabos as well. So shout out to Lady B. But pretty much, you know, it's a graphics company, and you know, we do from logo design to editing. We actually print out shirts. We have DTF, so called direct to film. So that's what this is right here.
Right.
So you know, we supply people that have their own crafting companies. So say like a customer has an order for like 30 family reunion shirts. We'll print out. They'll come to us. We'll print out the film, and then they'll press it and.
So what's better? Is it that or is it silk screen? What would be better?
I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think DTF is a little better because you can be more mobile. Like for instance, say he, you know, I'm in Atlanta, he's in Miami, but he has an order. He needs some shirts. I can just print the design out and mail it to him.
Oh, okay.
So the other way, you need the actual shirt to do it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, you know. So there's just pros and cons to it, but I like this version better.
Now, what lasts longer, DTF or silk screen?
I would say DTF. Again, not to sound biased, but I would say DTF. Because it gets in the shirt, you can stretch it. You know, right? You know. So I would say that.
So it's not your old school flea market shit.
No.
Remember the old school flea market?
You watch it one time.
Exactly. That's it. So that's pretty much Greedy Graphics. You know, we do shirts, we do custom designs. Even with that, you know, I plant seeds in my kids. I got a lot of kids. I got 6 kids. My youngest son, this is actually his design. This is his brand, Uncentered.
Okay.
You know, the logo. So, you know, I was supporting it, you know, support.
Send it my way. I'm going to support it too.
For
Whatever
sure,
you got.
sure. Definitely.
We'll talk, put a whole segment on and everything.
Right. And so, you know.
I'll do a review.
I think you got a crazy wardrobe back in your room, huh?
Now you'd be surprised how many people, honestly, tell me all the time. That's why, like, when you give it to me, and I know you about it, I really represent. Like, that's why I wear Nick shit, that thing a lot, because he gave me so much shit to say here. But there's a couple people that they got, oh, yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah, I got you.
Right. And then
I mean, you ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Right.
I
But
got
just be about
clothes.
your word.
I can go and get. But I'm trying to help you.
Right.
You're doing it for them.
You know, if you see 100 episodes of me with this shirt on every time, somebody's gonna say, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, I keep seeing that.
Every time these man's doing a show, what is Black Label? That boom, you searching for it.
Right. Even if it take a little time, we're gonna make sure we bring that
It's
to you.
free
You know what I'm
advertisement,
saying?
bro.
Right.
Who else wouldn't want free advertisement in the business world?
Exactly.
I can give y'all one of these Ray cups with a sticker on it and just tell you, hey, put it on the table every time. Somebody's gonna say either, oh, you know Litty, or oh shit, who's the Litty? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, and I was just about to say same thing here, bro. Like it worked both ways. You know what I'm saying? So we more than happy to do the same thing for you too.
For sure,
you know
for sure. Kadon.
Yes, sir.
So Eclipse Oils.
That's my baby.
Eclipse Oils, like, so from the homework I did, you really are vested into Eclipse Oils.
Yeah. Actually, I got that idea off of him.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me what Eclipse Oils is. I want to know everything about it.
All
No
right.
time limit.
Okay.
We're not on the clock. Because I want to hear the details.
Well, Eclipse Body Oils, man, it's just basically a body oil company I started. The idea came from, actually, he brought me the idea of selling body oils. This was in Richmond Heights, actually when we were doing music. So basically, we had a show to do, a show we were trying to do on South Beach, as far as music-wise. And Wyclef was one of the judges. So it was something that was a show based off Wyclef, and basically if you won this show, you'll open up for a future artist or some shit like that. Right. This was on South Beach. So so him and I was running low on funds. You know what I mean? We run around up and down the streets of Richmond Heights. We're trying to figure out, shit, we got a show. We need money. We need to buy at least $200.
This is like 18-year-old version.
18 years old, out of high school.
Yeah.
We ain't got no jobs and shit like that right now. We
trying
just
to
trying
get
to
the money
grind
together.
Because we're so focused on the music right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as we chasing the dream, man, I'm like, damn, DB, we can't do the show. We gotta look fresh. We gotta get things we need. So he was like, all right, we'll figure something out. So he came with an idea like, yo, man, his older brother left a whole bunch of body oils and some shea butter, some shit like that. So I remember, so he come to me, right? He go, I got an idea. I'm like, what's up? He like, yo, I got a whole bunch of body oils. My brother left. My older brother left. He's like, yo, we can sell this shit and make money. I looked at this nigga crazy. I'm like, I said, man, get out of here. I ain't trying to sell no bean pies and body oils and shea butter. I'm like, what the hell is shea butter? So he breaks it down to me. He's like, yo, you like Lil Rock. He called me Lil Rock too. Like, Lil Rock, chill out. Like,
nah, we went to Dread Spot.
No, I'm gonna get there.
Okay, my bad.
So he hit with that. So I'm going back and forth with her like, you crazy. Like, you sound crazy.
Right.
Like, come on, something else.
Right.
He like, nah, man. He say, man, listen, man, let's take these. And there's a dread spot in Perrine called Ram Jam. Back in the day.
Yeah.
People in Piran
Shout
and
out
down
Ram
there.
Jam. You know about it. You
about
already know,
Ram Jam.
yeah.
If you live down south, you know about Ram
Ram
Jam.
Jam, yeah.
So Teddy was the owner of Ram Jam. He ran Ram Jam.
Okay.
So we had a pretty good, solid relationship with Teddy.
Mm.
So we grabbed all our products that night. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and we go out to Ram Jam in Piran. And he brings all the oils and stuff like that, right up to my handwritten labels and shit, all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So we went to Teddy first to get permission, because everybody's in the back, all the dreads, and a lot of shit's going on in the back.
Yeah.
So Teddy was like, yeah, man, grab your stuff, you do what the hell you want to do. Yeah, any problems, you come see me. All right, cool. So we go, me and him grab our shit, and we hit everybody up, body yours. Some of the dreads are dissing us, though.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. So we said, okay. So we came back real quick. I don't know, remember, I told Teddy, like, yo, Teddy, man, they back there trying to get a little house.
Yeah.
He's like, who mine and this and that, so whatever. Go back out and let me know. So we go back out, hit everybody else up. So people started buying off of us.
Yeah, it take that one person, you know what I mean?
To that one cat, man, bring that shit over here. He copping. So now I'm looking at him like, this nigga got something.
It's working.
We done sold about 5 or 6 already, $5 a pop. We already at like $30, $40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it was all free because it was all free.
Yeah, it's all free. And it's more coming because now they seeing us exchanging incense, and so now you got other people. Oh, yo, y'all come over here, man. Come, let me see you. So we go around, and then one of the same little group of people that was dissing us, he comes around. Yo, man, come over here, man. That's what you got, man. Come on, man. Y'all just fucking with your mind. We don't know. You was a stranger. I didn't know.
Now you want a discount and everything. That's how cool he is.
What happened was, I remember we was running around selling people. Teddy came out there and spoke to him. So Teddy came and said a word to him. And then now he like, yeah, I might come and support. So we came back and he apologized to us. So we sold the whole stash.
Oh shit!
And probably I don't know, man, like over 100.
We made a little something. For back then, that's
back then. It was good product. Once again, let's go back to it was a box that was just
30 minutes ago, we had no idea how to even come up on $1.
Right.
So that's how I got into it from that perspective, and then we did that, and then
Then you took it to like a whole.
Well, let me stop it there. Did you ever call his brother and say, "Yo, thanks"?
Hell no. I told him thanks.
Does your brother know this story?
Nah. He know he put me onto it,
but he don't know the whole story.
Now
you know.
Right.
But this is how it grew. It grew from there.
Right.
And then I just took it, man. Just to make a long story short, I started packaging it a little bit. Started putting different labels onto it.
Branding it,
and started selling it like at a job on the streets, and going to different neighborhoods, and even coming down to ghouls. Like just started selling on the streets, man, and then it slowly started growing.
Now, do you make it?
Don't make it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The product comes from our vendors.
Okay.
They still come from our same vendors we've been with for more than 20-some years.
Wow.
Yeah. So the product is a great product, man. No water, no alcohol. I put a lot of people onto this bottle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna say a name right now, but I ain't gonna bring it up. You know what I'm saying? But even certain rappers.
Okay. Rock with it.
Or a certain rapper
rocks with it.
Either rocks with it, or either I don't know if he still does, but he definitely rocked with it for 4 years.
Okay, got you.
One of your favorite rappers that you still see on TV today. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So I mean, like I said, man, I'm selling the product to people that work in the banking industry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm selling to people that own businesses. I'm selling to the gas station.
So you don't wear cologne no more?
Nah, I wear straight body oil.
Straight body oil.
Yeah, it's been like that for the past.
It kind of lasts.
Years,
it lasts longer. The fragrance,
man.
Healthier, obviously.
Healthier, quality is off the
it comes in a nice little small bottle, so it's easy to keep on you, keep with you.
You know what I'm saying? Pull it out, roll on, boom, 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 boom.
If you're a chiefer, I mean, boom, boom, you good.
I mean, I am familiar with just body oils. Remember, I am from New York, so the African man used to have all those on the streets, and
it's similar to that.
Yeah, but just obviously higher quality, better. But
better quality. The quality. See, the thing was the quality is why I stuck with it for so long.
Because a lot of people cut it, and
people, we don't cut it. None of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But the feedback was what really turned me on, because, for example, you one of my clients, you come and cop a bottle off of me, you wear it when you go to work or you get around your wife,
what you
go around your people, they're like, damn, Liddy, you smell good as hell. What the hell is that? They think you don't spend like $100 on that bottle. You're like, nah, it's body oils. So once people started catching on that the body oils actually smell better than the main cologne, perfume or cologne that you're spending, and it's at low cost. That's those type of niches and those type of situations help me grow.
And this is unisex, right?
Unisex, yeah. I got men, women, unisex flavors.
They got different fragrance, right?
You know what I'm saying? And then we also got the natural oils too.
Essential oils
as well too. You know,
so you got the ones that you can burn in the burners in the house to make the house smell good,
or you can put it on as well too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The grade is that good.
Have you got into soaps yet?
I dabbled into it, but then I fell back to the body oils.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just more. I
stick what you know.
Yeah, what I love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. I love doing the body oil. That's first-hand nature.
So what's your favorite scent? What's Kadon's scent?
Oh shit, man! I got a few of them, man. I like that diesel. I like that Ismiyaki blue. I love Egyptian musk. I love that. That Frankenmerk.
Egyptian musk is like a certain
classic
fragrance. People either hate it or they love it.
Right.
Like,
Like, if you know about body
even
oils,
Redman speak about that Egyptian musk. You know what I'm saying?
like them true body oil fans.
Egyptian musk.
Frankenmerk.
Yeah, you have people that's like,
Stuff like
I
that.
only want Egyptian musk. Don't give me nothing else.
Ismiyaki too.
My favorite one is that Kenneth Cole Black. Kenneth Cole Black. That's
I got a few favorite ones, man.
All right, so we all men with relationships and stuff like that. So which one brings the ladies the closest?
All of them.
All of them.
All of
There's
them.
not one specific one.
The key is find a
See, I'm
body.
asking this for the watchers because somebody might want to go buy that.
No,
one.
that's true. But this is the thing: you got to find the oil, the fragrance that fits
Body.
you, your profile.
Right.
I mean, they got some
That's what it
with
is,
vulgar
you know?
names that kind of bring people in. They got one called like "Lick Me All Over."
Yeah, they got that too. Sex
Eat,
on the beach.
whatever. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
Eat it raw.
So
So
we
those-
curse here. We
eat
curse
it
here.
raw.
Okay, yeah. I just want to respect the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's a killer.
Zone,
Fuck
you know?
shit, pussy
I mean,
ass dick. Go
Got
ahead.
it. That's all you gotta tell me. You know what I mean?
I started pushing the body oils into the strip clubs. You know what I mean? So what I used to do also, like I said, I used to go around and hit different businesses. Like I'm that type of person. Like I'll go out. Let me know who I gotta talk to. I don't give a damn who you are, what you do. If I can get to you, I'm gonna come sit down. I'm gonna talk to you. So I started targeting the strip clubs, Fox ladies. You know what I mean? Started talking to the guys out there and trying to get my products in there. This is besides me putting them in little stores and
Right.
Then I also went to King of Diamonds.
Yeah.
I went to King of Diamonds. They gave me a spot. I lasted about a month, and I was like, I'm done with this. Be careful what you ask for, because
What was the
that
issue?
shit was too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
What was the issue?
Huh?
What was the issue?
The thing was this, like, my agreement after my third my third meeting with one of the guys that run the King of Diamonds, I ain't gonna say his name, but once he gave me the green light, he gave me my own spot. Now my whole conversation with him every time I saw him was, I don't want to be here. I just want to come. Let me talk to your girls. Let me introduce my products. Let me let them know before they start dancing, before the show starts.
Right.
Sell them, and I'm out of there.
Yeah.
You can do your King of Diamond things, whatever y'all got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this brother, man, he ended up grabbing me and say, "Listen, man, take a walk with me." So I'm walking around. He goes, "You like that spot right here, the little corner right here? All the girls come out here. The basketball court's back there. The bar, perfect spot. You can catch everybody. This is your spot. You can do whatever you want." You just gave it to me. So I ran that for about a month on the weekends. Now the thing was, I was already working that night already.
Oh shit.
Brand new baby. Just got married.
Yeah.
You know how it is starting off. That new life. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm already out the house five nights. Throughout the week.
In King of Diamonds now.
So now I got the weekends of King of Diamonds.
Yeah.
Right.
Saturday and Sundays, and I'm still out the house. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, brand new wife, brand new
I
baby.
already know.
King of Diamonds. I'm talking about exclusive view.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I did it for about a month, man, and then I stopped going. You know what I mean? And then, homeboy was looking for me and stuff like that. I was like, man, listen, I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Your grandfather always used to say, "Do good in school because education leads to opportunities."
Damn, boy. Damn. Where you got that from?
I do my stuff, bro. That's how they call me Litty Willie.
Damn.
Good, huh?
You just hit me like, what's that cat name?
Norbert.
Yeah.
Damn, because that's stuff he used to tell us.
Yeah.
Damn.
What?
That's a good one, bro. I'm impressed with that one. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Did you do swell enough to make Grandpa proud?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was, even through elementary, man, I was somewhat of a knucklehead, man.
Okay, yeah,
You know
me
what I
too.
mean?
Yeah, it's okay.
Junior high, I kind of cleaned my act up a little bit. High school, I kind of went back to knucklehead phase a little bit.
Right.
Because of the environment. Just what it was, man. But I've never been a dummy. You know what I'm saying, per se.
Mm-hmm. Hard-headed. That's it.
I'm a Taurus, so I'm hard-headed by nature.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But very hard-headed, very stubborn. I'm going to do things when I feel like I want to do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't feel a certain topic or subject or something, I'm not going to give it my all. But if I feel it, I'm going to make it happen, Or if I fail at it a couple times, then I got to show motherfuckers, okay, listen, let me get my shit together. Let me show you how this was. So that's how it was, man. So I used to get in trouble a lot at school for whatever reasons, things of that nature. But, my grandfather used to talk to me all the time. Matter of fact, he helped me get back in high school.
Good.
So I got kicked out of it. He helped me, him and my uncle helped me get back into killing. You know what I mean?
I can say that you said that when you don't like a topic or you don't like something specific, that you're not going to go for it. So with that saying as well, this also was your grandfather stated, you should always learn a trade or a skill as well. He stated why? Because we now have the knowledge or skill to mold and shape people's worlds, including your own. Having a trade, having a skill will even transform the poorest man into the most important man needed.
Yeah, he actually had a conversation like that with me after he got me back into Culinary.
That's heavy.
And this is one of the reasons why I ended up getting my degree in
IT.
Because
So that was the skill that
was my skill,
right.
You know, and one thing he used to say this all the time. He used to say, son, you think, because he used to say sometime when I came out of high school, you going to college, and I was like, nah, hell no, I ain't going to college. And that, you know, and he would kind of tell me, be careful who you talk to. I'm like, nah, I ain't going. I just did 5 years of high school.
Right.
I'm working at American Airlines now. He goes, but son, I want you to go to school because if you lose that job, what you're gonna have?
Right.
If you're gonna work at American Airlines, then go ahead and do work on planes and get that. Know how to fix the engines. Do that. Be resourceful.
Make a job irreplaceable.
Yeah, you know, and that's one thing he always instilled into all of us, including me. Like he said, you have to be resourceful in life. Because if you're resourceful, you'll always be able to take care of yourself.
Right.
You take care of the people take care of you. You know what I'm saying? But one thing he says, and this still resonates in my mind till today. I remember he used to say, and this goes back when I used to be like, I used to push back against him by going to college. He goes, son, I told him, man, college is too expensive right now, and I ain't got no money for that. He goes, son, if you think college is expensive, achieving an education, he says it's gonna cost you more not having an education.
That's a fact.
In the long run.
Man, I sat there and that thing hit me so hard, like, damn, you're right. Because if I don't even try to apply to get my, like, not having an education, I'm gonna succeed in this world.
Them words were like numbers, and that shit started adding up when he said that.
Yeah, we said that. So either way, you're gonna lose. So you better just go get your education, do what you got to do, and win that way. Because if you don't do it and decide to do something else, and even without a trade, you're done. You know.
Right.
So that right there always resonates, and that's one of the things that actually got me to go back to school.
And that's where the IT came from.
And that's where the IT came from.
Bless
you know
Grandpa. Another quote, and this is the last one I got because I could go for days. I do my homework, bro. He always said, opportunity is always closer than you think. All you got to do is pay close attention to the signs. What was your
Your granddad is saying some shit right now.
Man, you know, you talking to me right now, and your head's on my back of my neck was standing up, man. I feel like you was in the living room when this shit was going down.
That's shit
you
right
got
there,
to
bro.
quote him, like, this is stuff he used to tell us and his peoples.
Yeah.
And then he'll quote it on the news.
At least you can tell the whole industry that Litty Willie really does
Nah,
interview.
listen, man, this right here, it's a whole nother ball game right here.
What was your biggest opportunity that came from you paying close attention to the signs?
Man, that's funny because I pay attention to the signs all the time. I'm one of those guys. I watch the numbers.
So let me ask you a better one. What opportunity made you say, damn, what he said was right?
Well, the thing is to hear what he says and try to envision it in my mind.
Okay.
Once I can envision what his words and how and his perspective, what he's telling me, because somebody can tell you something and it just go one ear out the other.
Right.
But when he speaks, you got to envision what he's telling you, because what he's telling you, he's telling you information that's going to get you ahead of life,
right,
and put you on the next level to get you where you got to go. So when he tells me these things, man, I really sit down and I think about it and I apply those methods into my life of today. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, going back to school, getting my education, even the work I've done in Lil Haiti, as far as preserving his legacy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The street name after
the street name.
We talked about that, but let's talk about it again because we did talk about it in our first interview.
Yeah,
so the street name, I say just, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Juice. Yeah. So give us the story quick on that too.
On the street name?
Yeah, the whole street name. I want all that.
All right, so if we go back to about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, put the first mural up in Little Haiti on 59th Street and Northeast 2nd Avenue, which is next to the Little Haiti Culture Center in Little Haiti. The first mural was a small picture in the corner of my grandfather. Okay, the rest of the wall still had a lot of other Haitian pioneers and artists and stuff like that. I was able to get Channel 10. A friend of mine actually introduced me to Larry Livingston from Channel 10 in the barbershop where I used to get my hair cut. And as I was checking out and paying, my partner Cobra, shout out to Cobra, he was like, yo, Win, you want to talk to my partner right here? And I'm looking at his partner, I'm like, okay, like what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's like, nah, he works for Channel 10, he's a news anchor. I told him about your grandfather, you might want to sit down and do something. I was like, oh, okay, now you got my attention.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Larry, and I even know who he was. And he's like, Cobra told me a lot about your family. Like, yeah, I do a lot of stories in Little Haiti, but most of the stories I do is about dead bodies and shootings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was telling me nothing good came out of Little Haiti at the time. I said, well, listen, I'm the father of such and such, grandson of such and such. He's like, I understand. Like, listen, what if we could do something you could cover a story about my grandfather? I said, is it possible to cover a story? Not even knowing what it's going to be. So he literally leans over to me. He's like, you got to sell me something. I'm like, what you mean you got to sell me the story? I said, well, no, what you mean I got to say the story? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He goes, when I go and talk to my bosses in the production room, I got to sell them the story in order for me to cover it.
Yeah.
So we need something good. So I'm like, shit.
Film cost.
Yeah, you know. So I'm like, I'm trying to think of something good. I'm like, I mean, he's a pioneer, Little Haiti. What else you need? Like, nah, I need something else. So our Basil started to happen, was coming around.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put two to two together, and I even talking to Serge the artist. Serge the artist, the one that does all the murals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of 90% of the
Serge.
murals in Little Haiti. Shout out to Serge. Without Serge, none of my stuff could be possible. But not even talking to Serge, but I was like, you know what? If I put a mural in my mind, I'm like, if I put a mural together, Art Basel, maybe I could get her. So I said, listen, if I put a mural together and it's Art Basel, can you come and cover that? He was like, they go to the store.
Right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So now I even know it. So now I'm running out the barbershop. Now I ain't had no car back there. So I'm catching the jitney.
Hair halfway done and everything.
I'll fade it up. I jump on the jitney and I run back to Little Haiti and I'm like, I gotta find Serge. Took me about a week or two to get
Damn,
to
I
him.
haven't seen a jitney in a while. My
Yeah,
bad.
Hey, y'all go to Little Haiti, jump on them jitneys.
We
man.
had them down here, right, Robbie?
Yeah,
After the hurricane,
After
Hurricane Andrew, yeah.
Sorry. So I run back and I get down to Little Haiti and I'm trying to get a hold of Serge, and you know I met Serge a few times. My family introduced him to him. My uncle P introduced him to him. So now I'm trying to get in contact. So when I get in contact finally with Serge, I said, Serge, listen, man, I got the news that I want to do. Channel 10 want to do a story about Little Haiti, about my grandfather, but I got to get a mirror up on the wall so they can cover the wall because it's our Basil. That's the only way we could do it.
Right.
So man, Serge was like, man, listen, man, you know that wall across the street on 59th Street where your uncle's at, IPC Studios? He said, I could put your grandfather on there.
Dang.
Let me talk to the owner, and then me and him had an agreement. He does the wall, I bring the news, and now he gets exposure
For his art.
He was doing for his art,
And that's fair enough.
and that was a
Super fair.
match made
Everybody
in heaven.
wins.
Match made in heaven. So I went forward. I put everything together. Got back to Laren. Got Serge coordinated. It took about a month and a half to put it all together. Serge got the mirror up finally. Our Basil just kicked in that December. Everything worked perfect. Channel 10 finally came. They did the whole story. That story had over 52,000 views.
Wow.
When they put it on Channel 10.
Just a drop, like the first drop.
Yeah, the first drop, 52,000 views, and that started the whole. More continued or gave more boost to the legacy of preserving the legacy. Now fast forward from that, a couple years later, 4 years after that, come back around. Now I get the street named. That same street is also where my uncle has his business, IPC Lab Studios, and a lot of people from all over the place come to his studios to see his photo gallery.
Okay.
We actually shoot one of our episodes.
Yeah,
Black Label Xchange out of
there.
there.
Yeah.
So shout out to IPC Studios, Uncle Philip, called Juice. My uncle is one of Miami Herald's top photographers.
Oh, wow.
And he's about
years.
to retire for
Wow.
years, 30, 40 years in the game.
Wow.
Like one of the top, like whenever presidents and Farrakhan and all these great people come in, they call Juice, he's on it. So just to have my uncle on that same block, and when I got to that block of 59th Street, that shit was still gutter to transform it with the help of Serge putting up the artwork first.
Right.
Him incorporating my grandfather's picture, the first one, and then 4 years later come back around, do another mural, and then getting the street name. So we literally transformed that block into something that's valuable. Now that's probably, according to, and this comes from Serge the artist, but he told me himself, he like, yo, listen, this wall here, this wall get the most exposure out of all my other paintings in the day.
Can I interrupt one thing?
Yeah.
Do you believe that that's your grandfather's spirit now that he's there clearing out and giving that area light?
I'll tell you this, and I'll go deep with you, and I did an interview with Channel 6 News last month. And I told her, I said, yeah, all day, because anything I did, I go to the cemetery. Because, you know, regardless of what it is, I go see my loved ones.
Right.
So I always went to the cemetery to ask to guide me how this can be done. Because I got no clue. Ain't no resources. Ain't no millionaires, no billionaires backing me. You know what I'm saying? It's just straight muscle, idea,
If
hustle,
anything,
and
you're
muscle.
fighting against the billionaires.
Yeah, facts.
Because they didn't want to do
Fighting
it.
against the
The powers that be didn't want to honor
Hell yeah.
my grandfather. This is when I got the street name. That was a lot of pushback, you know. And then the commissioners that passed it, and I had to go talk to commissioners. You know, I had to do a lot of things behind the scene. You know, I mean, I had to get certain people in the neighborhood that had certain pull to kind of help me. So I had to do my homework, something similar to how you do your homework. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then once I was doing that, I started going to the meetings in Little Haiti. I was already going to the meetings in Little Haiti before, cussing out the developers as they're doing justification and going off on their ass. So now I'm going to the meetings now to preserve legacy.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a picture of him like in there in the town meeting,
Going on.
standing
Oh,
up
you
at the
got
podium.
that?
I got that.
Oh shit, he was
So I'm so because
Send it to me so I can put that in the video
exactly
somewhere.
to let you know it's real stories. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh no, listen, I'm a journalist, so I
Right,
know
right,
I know
right.
what
Okay.
he's done, and that's why I say like his and it shows that, you know, as we're doing this interview, we're hearing all these powerful messages that he left. You can just see that his grandfather was such an influential and like a very powerful person that even through his spirit
right.
is still making changes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
A lot of people don't realize it doesn't really take a whole bunch of people to make a change.
No.
It takes a few dedicated people with a vision.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
But let me say this too, even with my grandfather, and this is the power of a great woman. My grandmother, she's considered the matriarch of Little Haiti.
Right.
She done a lot for the community as well too.
Right.
You know, when my grandmother passed away, they had her funeral at Notre Dame. And if you live in Miami, Little Haiti, you know about Notre Dame Church. It's a very big church, well-established church in Little Haiti.
Is the Catholic one?
Catholic one.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Little
I
Haiti.
did a communion or something.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That, see how big that church
Humongous.
is?
Yes.
That whole church is packed in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When my grandmother died, because my grandmother died first before my grandfather did.
Everybody was there for her.
The whole church was packed. My grandfather made someone get up next to him so I can sit down next to my grandfather. He told somebody, tap one leg, like, get up. Nephew. He said, grandson, right here. I sat right next to my grandfather. My uncle was already up there, Uncle Philip from Miami Herald. He's already talking, giving his eulogy and talking to the community. You know, that place was packed.
Amazing.
That place was packed.
Amazing. You got gold running through your blood.
Oh my God, it was crazy. It was crazy.
You got not even gold. I think it's like diamond and platinum.
Nah, for sure.
Diamond and platinum.
And I even told him, I said, what you did is bigger than I think what he even realized. I said, bro, how many people you know that got a street named after their relative? Not just, but they were part of the reason why it got named.
And that's why I put the spotlight when I did the interview with him, because I only had a certain amount of minutes to interview people on the. That's why I had to make sure I put that in there, because I think like I'm a history buff. I love history, any kind of history. It could be car history, anything. I'll just watch history or something. So knowing what, you know, Little Haiti, like we speak about this as Miami and Little Haiti, but to sit next to somebody that has the bloodline of the pioneer of Little Haiti, I think it's pretty fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? And I think our youth is lacking now. Our youth is lacking knowledge, just knowledge in general.
I agree.
They're only seeing what they're given.
Because when you know you came from something special, that gives you a certain like confidence.
Of course.
Which
course.
stays with you.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I tell people all the time, like, trust me, our prison systems and our jail systems will have less black and brown people in them if people actually truly knew who they were and where they came from.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how your bloodline, how you got people that were maybe kings, queens, ran this region over here in 19-something or 18-something. You'd be surprised. Once and this is what my grandfather used to tell us all the time. Like that Juice last name, he was very like, don't destroy that last name. I put my life up for that name, you know. And your last name has to mean something as an individual. No matter if you're the Andersons, you know. So what's your last name?
Fernandez.
Joseph. We represent the names of our great grandparents.
Right.
Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
So that's something he instilled in us, and this is something I even tell people too. Like, listen, man, if we actually knew where we came from and what we're made of, you would think twice before you do some dumb shit and throw your whole life away.
For sure.
You know.
Okay, so before we get into the podcast, I want to ask you, and you can make this as quick as you can or whatever, but if you could do one thing for Little Haiti right now, what would it be?
I like to bring programs to Little Haiti. More so technology, information technology programs. And I'm not talking about coding and all that stuff that everyone else does. I mean like AI, get these young kids to get into AI, get into networking.
That's the future, right?
That's the future. AI is the future. Networking, you know, that way you don't even got to go to college. You just do 2 years, get a certification, or just 1 year, study hard, get a certification, you know, Cisco certification or Amazon AWS certification.
You're talking that Chinese to me.
Yeah,
I hear it. My brain's trying to compute what he's talking about. Like,
talking Russian now.
Like,
sweating when he's talking about this shit.
I want to bring programs. I want to bring, you know, I like to bring like an annual parade on behalf of not just my grandparents, but also the pioneers of Little Haiti. You got a lot of other pioneers of Little Haiti as well too. Things that will allow us to establish the legacy and the history of Little Haiti. You know what I mean? That allow to bring the international world, not just the local, but the international world into Little Haiti and move forward. And also, I would love to. When I tried to get property in Little Haiti. You know, I got developers involved. Hooked that developer up with a property owner. We tried to I merged them to try to go ahead to buy 19 portfolios in Lil Haiti. I mean, we lost that, you know what I mean, through technicalities, but I've tried to find ways to preserve at least some of the businesses.
Lost it, but we ain't quit yet.
Nah, we ain't quit yet.
We ain't quit yet. Tito, if you could do one thing for Richmond Heights, what would it be?
That's a good question. There's a lot of things that can be done, but
he got to start with getting his grandparents' street name.
That's definitely one.
That's one of the missions we got.
Right.
Okay.
But I would also say, in addition to that, is maybe get certain areas like certified as a historical spot, so that way the legacy will be preserved. And that way they can't tear it down. You know, have it labeled as an actual historic spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that, because right now it's a big gentrification thing going on in Richmond Heights. It's a totally different neighborhood now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But at least preserve some of the legacy so that in 100 years from now it will still be recognized. Because Richmond Heights was originally made for Black World War II veterans.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Frank C. Martin, he's a white dude, but Frank C. Martin, he's the one who he pretty much got that whole piece of land, and it was specifically made for Black World War II veterans.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It was built in 1950. My grandfather.
So he was a vet, your grandfather?
Well, no, he wasn't a vet, but he came in 2 years. He came in the year after Richmond Heights was originally built in 1950. 49, and they moved in 1950. Okay. So they were like the second wave, right? Yeah. But that's what it was originally built for. So certain things, I would definitely want to deem some certain areas just a historical landmark, just to preserve it, and that's along with my family's legacy. Maybe getting that street that his store was on named after my grandmother and grandfather. My grandmother's still alive. She's 97. So,
my great grandmother, so I just interviewed her with my grandmother, but she's 97 and my grandmother's 77. So I do my best to try to put everything on camera because this is what's going to be for the kids. I did an interview with all my kids for my son's birthday.
I think I just saw that. Yeah. That's
so I try to put everything on interview. Yeah, I'm not chasing the crazy views. I'm doing this for history.
For the love. And it's going to pay off in the long run. You know what I mean? Sure. And not just in a money tip, just on overall,
I can say I've been here in Homestead since 2003, so I would say if I had to do something for a city, I would do it for Homestead. What I would do is build a strictly youth center, something for the youth. I think that we're putting too much time into older people, and we're old, but older people in general. Right. We're going to keep repeating cycles if we don't change our youth. The youth has to change. That's going to be the pillar to where that's what's going to change history significantly. Right. Crack fucked up the kids, and that's why it fucked up a lot of generations when that crack era. So if we take the time to do something for like our generation now, if we put all our resources into the youth right now, 30, 40 years from now, I think our history would be better. I think the youth is getting really neglected right now due to technology. And not intentionally, but the babysitters are the technology. So youth centers, there's not one youth center in here. I work with higher ends communities where we have to chase kids out of pools and things like that, but it bothers me because what else is a kid supposed to do in the summer at 98 degrees?
Exactly. So
you're mad that he's jumping the gate to go in your pool, but wouldn't you rather him just be in that pool and hanging out with his friends versus breaking into a house?
Exactly.
Right. Or selling drugs.
You got to give him something to do. In the middle of your Can't give him idle hands.
So there's two sides of the coin, because if you are paying $500, $600, $700 in association fees, you don't want a bunch of kids in your pool. So we need to come together as a community and not be angry at those kids. Maybe going to City Hall and say, hey, I paid this amount of money to live in this community. You got all these kids running in and doing all these things. We pay taxes. Why is there nothing for these kids to do in the summer?
And it's
let me tell you this: if you really want to pursue that, since I learned all this getting a street naming and going through, like I said, man, like through up the valley and shit. The shit wasn't easy at all. You know what I mean? And I got the street name doing the gentrification. But what I've learned was you got to talk to your commissioners.
Commissioners, yes.
It's a very important establishment. Now, commissioners, they work for us. Okay?
Supposedly.
But if you don't reach out to them, and if you don't address issues, and I'm talking about not go there and talk to them, send emails, and then you CC the city and everyone else to put them on the spotlight. But you address these situations with the commissioner. But if you got a good commissioner that really does care about their district, they're going to sit down and say, you know what, Lily, let's sit down, let's have a conversation.
You're going to piss my mom off, because my mom been trying to tell me to get into politics for very long. So when she hears you say that, I told her.
It's a real thing, because like we mentioned earlier, he's literally going up against billionaires.
Yeah.
Like right across from IPC
Commissioners,
Studios.
millionaires, City
But
of
he was
Miami.
relentless with no budget and still got that done. I mean, emailing every department in Miami-Dade.
It's inspiring. It's inspiring.
Right, and if people take the same initiative, everything. Of course, you need money. Rules the world. You got to have money somewhere down the line. But there's so many things you can do before you even need the money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
And people, once they realize that what he went up against to make that happen, it's ridiculous. But he still got it done just off pure persistence and being on top of his shit.
And on top of that too, frustration and anger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That really fired me up, like to see the frustration. Cause listen, I'm looking at the Miami Times or News Times. I'm gonna put y'all motherfuckers out there. And y'all got a picture of Lil Haiti, and you whitewash my grandfather's picture off the wall.
Yeah.
You take the picture off the wall, but you whitewash. You can
did
see
that.
the whitewash.
Wow.
And this is the News Times.
Yeah, they did
Miami
that.
News Times, and you putting this shit out to the public. You're showing the same wall because if you drive by that wall, you're clearly gonna see my grandfather.
So what was their reason for that?
Just because anytime you're reminding people of their ex-leader and you're trying to get rid of the people, and you got that one young man that's trying to remind the people of their leader, and we still got legacy.
And the families that's still holding on to their property. Because they're getting offered money. These billionaires coming in,
but they didn't want that. They didn't want. They don't want. Whenever somebody's trying to take over a group of people or a section, they don't want someone. No influence. Don't remind people their leaders. Don't remind us of Martin Luther King. None of that shit.
No sense of pride. None of that shit.
You got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that's what it was.
It's that blatant.
It was that
Straight
blatant.
up.
You know what I mean? It was that blatant. I was going against that. You know what I mean? Because I was getting a lot of, ring around the rosy. You know what I mean?
And we still won.
And we still won.
I'm looking in the camera. We still
But I gotta
won.
give a shout out to Commissioner Watson before he left office, man. He when I sat down and addressed that meeting that Tito speaking of, that's on public TV records or whatever the case is, syndication, public domain. You'll see me talking to the commissioners, man, and that I don't know how long it was. It felt like 15 minutes, but it probably was maybe 6-7 minutes. But I made sure I looked into
Hardeman too, Commissioner Hardeman.
But I really looked into Commissioner Hardeman wasn't there that day. It was 4 other commissioners, but I really looked into those commissioners' eyes and I really talked to each and every one of them. I totally forgot I was in the room.
Yeah, it was a one-on-one.
I thought it was just me and them.
One-on-one.
Me and those 5 guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they felt my pain, and 3 of the commissioners, which was the Cuban commissioners or the Spanish commissioners, they knew my grandfather. So when they looked at me, they shook their head, was like, we know who Mr. Vincent Juice was. They gave me a nice little smile. Then I addressed Commissioner Watson, even though I've been chasing him down. You know what I mean? And I gave him some kudos, man, and he respected that. And you know what I'm saying. And after I got done speaking my piece, I stayed with the family for like 5 or 10 minutes to hear some other hearings, and then we left. This Commissioner Watson left his seat and met me in the hallway. He was like, "Hey, Mr. Blaine, hold on," because I was gonna leave and say I'll call him later.
Yeah.
But he came, shook my hand. He said, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna make it happen." I said, "Cool, thank you." He's like, "Nah, man." I was like, "Nice to meet you." First time meeting him, you know,
and a good impression.
Yeah, because when I went to the meeting the month before to look for him, this is the Lil Haiti Trust meeting.
Okay.
I got up there and I spoke at the podium and I was speaking out of frustration.
Right.
And I was like, "Man, who's Mr. Commissioner Watson?"
I've been
calling him.
You was borderline street level on that podium.
Oh man, listen, bro. I went in, bro. I was like,
as they say, you pulled up.
I pulled up. I heard everybody's talking about, how we're gonna get these people out of this property. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of white property owners.
Right.
Which that unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize so many white property owners owned so much property in Little Haiti.
Right.
And they was there speaking to the Little Haiti Trust Board, trying to get advice. How do we kick out the Haitians that don't want to leave? Because I'm the new owner.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to do it respectfully and great. So you had about 4 or 5 of those guys talking about that. I changed the whole narrative.
Yeah.
When I came out, like, listen. See that street right here? I said, listen. How come my grandfather don't have a street? And I'm seeing names in Little Haiti. I'm driving through Little Haiti. I'm seeing names. Who the hell is this guy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like you could just get a street name, even you're not even part of Little Haiti.
Right.
So I was very frustrated. So that's when my frustration came in. Man, when I got done talking to everybody, man, all I heard was, "Hey, come over here. Hey, listen. Hey, come over here." I didn't know my uncle sent Miami Herald.
Shout out to Uncle P.
Uncle Phillip. Uncle Carl.
Okay.
The Miami Herald uncle. He sent a Miami Herald reporter
to go over through that.
To go in there to watch it. I didn't know he was until he pulled out his bag. Like, yeah, your uncle said it. But he goes, "Listen, I got I won't say Keon Hardback. I got Commissioner Watson's personal cell
Info.
phone.
I got
You
his
call
info.
personal.
Yeah.
I got that number.
I got his math for you.
Yeah, I'll blow them up. You know,
He
so
probably like, who the hell is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
so, but it taught me a lesson. Like whenever you want something in life, you gotta
Yeah,
put your ego and your pride aside and put that whole, well, what if they come after me, shit, or you can't be scared.
Put
Man.
common
You
sense
just gotta
first.
be relentless.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless and you gotta go for it.
Common
Right.
sense
You
first.
gotta go for it. And consequences, if you're doing the right thing, fuck consequences. You can't.
Oh, you cursed. I told you.
He said,
okay.
bitch, titties,
Fuck,
ass,
big,
all that.
yeah, curse.
But I thought the kids were here. So,
Nah, even if they are, listen, they probably talk worse than us in school.
But whenever you achieving something that you truly believe in, and this is what my grandfather told me. I don't know if you got a quote there on this.
I got a list of quotes, but yeah.
But he said, anything you believe in, and when you go against a machine, but anything you believe in, you gotta be willing to die for.
And that's some real talk.
And this is how
That's
I
what
live
most people
my life.
not saying go out and crash out,
Nah,
but
not
just
crash out.
you standing on, like I just say, stand on business, but you really standing on it.
Yeah.
You
Gotta
know
be
what I
worth
mean?
it. It gotta make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not gonna
some-
die for something that doesn't belong to you. You're not gonna die for the project.
You know
Right.
something is passionate when you can't sleep.
Right.
Okay, when you're driving through that neighborhood and you're envisioning like this should be a street neighborhood.
right.
Why is it not here?
Right.
You know, you can't let it go when you got still the people that remain. Oh, I know your Vito's shoes. Oh, father's shoes. Oh my God, he was. You can't escape that. So when you're dealing with that type of reality and you're seeing your fellow souls and your Haitian people, you know, not for Lil Haiti, but I still consider Lil Haiti a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Because of the work I put
No,
in.
that's
And,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
your legacy.
And family legacy.
Yeah, it's your legacy, no
but
matter
not just relying off the family legacy, but actually putting in work.
You
Right.
you
And
can't
it's
say you're not
community.
from Little Haiti when you've done for Little Haiti more than maybe some people that live in Little Haiti couldn't even. Not to say they couldn't, they didn't take the time to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Eclipse Oils because while you're moving your hands, I am smelling the shit now.
Oh,
It's kicking. So
Yeah.
this is like a 3-part interview. It's gonna take a little time, so we're
That's cool.
we're
We
coming
good,
to the
man.
end because I had Tito, then I had Kadon. So now we're gonna talk about just the podcast. We're gonna talk about you two fellas. And before we get to it, I can see that y'all really are brothers. Just for not like hustling, the oils at 18. Him
The music.
in the music, him in your hearings and things like that. Like that's a real brother, that's a real friend. Like your friends hang out, but ain't the real true friend gonna go to hear with you in the hearing. Like, nah, bro, you go handle your shit. Or we're gonna chill next weekend. But you standing side by side with him, or y'all standing side by side with each other through all these up and down events.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's how this podcast came together. How did the podcast come together? We know that y'all knew each other this long. How did the podcast come about?
Well, I mean,
I let him tell his side first.
Okay.
well, I would have to mention the previous years of us doing the rap thing
Okay.
to even bring it to here because the reason why, because a lot of things we do with this podcast, we're literally using the same techniques and certain shit we used to do back in the day. We call the bandits. So we got this thing called banditism. So we do shit a certain way. We don't ask for certain shit. I mean, you know, we ain't stepping on toes, but we just do a thing a certain way. You know what I mean? And you know, it pretty much started in high school with us rapping, bandits. You know, the reason we complimented each other so much with the music because he would come with more of a melodic type flow, more lyrical. Then I was more on the metaphors, more like hip hop type stuff.
Right.
So the styles just complemented, and so we did so much stuff with music. From and shout out to Lady B, my wife. She did her thing.
Lady B.
She joined the group. She redid 50 Cent 21 Questions to 21 Answers. And we had this bumping on 99 Jams. We did shows, opened up for Yin Yang Twins.
Wait a minute. I think I heard
Busta
that. Now that I think
Rhymes.
about that. Wait a minute.
Like,
shit.
yeah, so
we
she did that and, you know, and added to the group. But, you know, we've done many things. We go, you know, opened up for, like I said, Yin Yang Twins, T.I., the Dirty Boys. I mean, we've done all type of stuff. And this is pre-cell phone days. We talk about it all the time. Like, bro, we didn't capture none of that
Verified before the blue check. I keep saying it. Y'all verified before the blue check.
So, you know, and we've rolled all kind of, like, we've been connected all the way through from, you know, with, like, the part EFN. He's like a brother with us. You know, my brother-in-law, his cousins was Derek from No Good.
Derek Tracy from No Good.
You know, they had the song Ballin' Boy, you know.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, you know, we came up through with Tony Galvin with the Black Mob records.
Exchange.
I mean, we was all over the place, especially the early years. So the chemistry we had back then, that's what we bring to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's why on the podcast, it's new for us. We only in episode, 4 or 5?
4 to 5.
Yeah, 5 is about to drop in about a week or so.
4. You got
So
4.
4, right, okay.
I did my
right,
math.
right. Thanks for verifying. So 4.
You're right.
But our chemistry and the way we do things really comes from back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
And we know each other. I mean, man, the way we used to rap back in the days, when we practice, if one person say one word wrong, we stop and we start from the beginning of the song until we can get through the whole song with no mistakes. And we just, that's how we practice. So
ain't Chaos from Richmond Heights?
yeah, he's from Richmond Heights. Yeah, man, we came up with Chaos. No, we know Chaos.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a little.
I'm a homie.
Yeah. We had a little spot. Rest in peace, Chuck Dallas. We had the pit.
Yeah, God bless Chuck.
You know, these the early days.
You guys are older than Chaos, though.
Nah, we the same
age.
Well, he's the same age with Chaos.
Yeah. He's like about 6 months older than me. So
about a year or two, maybe.
Okay.
Right. So, but as far as the podcast, it's just to fast forward through a few things. Yeah. It's really originally his idea. He had another podcast by another name, and with a couple other partners, but just on a creative difference, I guess it wasn't there. Not nothing bad, negative, but just on a creative difference. Right.
It's okay.
And so he went on originally with Black Label Xchange. He got with me. He was like, hey, man, I got this podcast. I need a logo. So I started off, I created the logo for him. You know what I mean? Right. And then he did his first interview with Fly Guy, Rasan Alexander. We also went to high school with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's doing all kind of big stuff.
Shout out to
Joe Budden shouted him out.
Shout out to
right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, now he's a good dude.
Yeah,
Fly Guy's a good dude.
He's doing his thing, and that was the first guest. So he was like, hey, I've been sitting on this episode. I need somebody that can edit. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, well, throw it my way. Let me see what I can do with it.
Hold up, but before I even throw it his way, I recorded Fly Guy a year prior.
Oh shit!
Right.
Actually, look,
So
I recorded Crazy Hood a year prior, and I recorded Fly Guy a year prior. Fly Guy did Crazy Hood.
See, that's why I was watching them, and I was
me a
like,
year
this
to put it
kind of
out.
look like no, because I was matching timeline.
The one you're seeing is something we had to we recently redid because just like you spoke about the audio, how audio was jacked up.
Okay, yeah.
So 2-3 years ago
The
when I
first
did the
Crazy
first
Hood
Crazy
the
Hood,
audio was
No,
jacked.
but Fly Guy was.
The Fly Guy was older.
That's what I'm saying. I was matching
right.
timeline when I was watching. And I was like,
Right. So even some of
oh,
the
they talking
subject
about
matter is a
shit.
little
Yeah,
dated.
that's what I'm saying. I pay
Right.
attention to details. So
Yeah, that's tight word. That's tight
I
word.
was watching shit like, wait a minute, are they intentionally going backwards to go forward?
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna ask you about the show.
So-
I couldn't find an editor.
Yeah. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, my editing game done got up there now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I saw his Tito Kitchen.
Right. So that's like a one-man band shit with the lightings, the video, the edit.
Yeah.
So he saw that. So he threw it my way. You know, I did a little intro for him, and that intro kind of like hooked me. He was like, "Oh, nah, let's do it." Like,
And then he did that intro. I was like,
with it.
what?
so we edited that, and honestly, I can't remember what the specific conversation was, but it was kind of like, bro, like, why don't we just do this shit together, bro? We done did all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's just, cause this is how we work. We fill in where we got gaps.
I told Tito, I said, listen, man, look at the podcast game like the new rap game.
Right.
Like what we.
That's
used to
what
do
it
back in
was.
the day.
When he told me that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he jumped on it. Once those words hit his mind, he just clicked like.
I don't know what it was about that, but he was like, bro, we gonna treat this shit just like the rap game, banditism style. I was like, oh, like that? All right, let's go.
Right. Podcast about real lives, real people, real stories.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Where did
sir.
that slogan come from?
I put that slogan together because that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. That made me like that because you know how I interview, so I seen that. I was like, yeah, I got it.
You can borrow it.
No. I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say where it came from.
Listen, you got permission.
I'm gonna give credit. I'm gonna give love. So we got 4 episodes out. As we talked about, DJ Fly Guy, DJ J Lash. Then you had Paul and Drain Flicks.
Yes, sir.
And Haz and Mr. Lee.
Yes.
It's been a
Crazy Hood's Dream Champs crew.
It's been a dope fucking run.
What you think about it? Why have you when you watch the episodes?
No,
from your
see.
perspective?
So what I like about your podcast is
You can tell us it sucks too.
No. Listen. If it sucks, I wasn't gonna watch it.
Right.
We
won't even be here.
I was about to say,
we will be here, but this shit will not be as genuine as it is. I'm like, yeah, all right, well, no, but honestly, it sticks to the logo. I mean, to the slogan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I emphasize the slogan because your interviews are matching what you're pitching as your slogan.
You know, the key thing too, part of the slogan, because whenever we interview someone, we want you to highlight who you are and what you accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And we
And that's the whole
specifically,
thing, you know?
specifically, I mean, of course, like we want a little shine because we're the host of the show,
of course.
But we specifically rather like take the back seat, and let our guests shine. That's how we do it. You know what I mean?
That's why I can relate to it. And I like it because my podcast is basically, or my interviews, whatever you want to call it, because I don't even call myself a podcast. I just call myself a journalist at this point.
Right.
That's what it is.
I like for people to see the side that they never seen of you before, and the people that don't know you see the best side of you, because you may get a new viewer that don't know you from nowhere, and they see you on some bullshit interview, and it's like, I don't like this guy. You haven't even known who he is yet. So my point is to make sure people that don't know you know the best side of you, and the people that do know you know that best side. They're like, damn, I ain't know that shit. I ain't know that. You know what I'm saying? Out of all those episodes, what was the most intriguing thing you learned for at least one guest? One thing that made you say, "Oh shit."
Jay Lash.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say the same thing.
Talk to me.
Nah, Jay Lash was interesting. He was interesting, man. Very interesting.
What was the most interesting? I need
just his stories about him being on Soul Train. His stories about Tupac, Mike Tyson, him being like the photographer, like first
paying for people through the doors to get some good pictures.
Yeah, but more so him not even paying for him. His store, he actually was finding ways to sneak in or finding ways to get in. Right.
But
he did mention that he was paying like doormen, like
He had a combination.
I watched the show, bro. I watched the fucking show. Goddammit. Give me some credit.
That's true. He had that too. But it's just the way he was able to give us the stories of being the first photographer to actually get these photos,
certain photos
on these celebrities,
right.
At the time of even as they were building their own careers, you know. So it's interesting.
And I would say the same thing, same episode, but more like since that Jay Lash episode, that's our first podcast. Even though we're on episode 4,
that's our first podcast together.
Yeah.
Well, that was 2.
Well, that was part 2, but
episode 2.
But I wasn't on the first one.
Yeah,
he wasn't on.
I'm reading y'all list. I'm reading y'all professional list. Y'all card.
Right. So, but what I learned was like it's a fine line you gotta walk because you don't want to offend your guests, but sometimes I wouldn't say have to fact check them, but on certain stories. Sometimes you gotta step in and ask, like, hold on.
You're a journalist, bro. That's your job.
Right.
That's your job.
Because there was one particular thing he said that kind of went over. I won't say went over our heads, but it's like if you're telling me your story and I don't know you, who am I to say, yo, that really happened? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was a certain one clip. He said something
about the Pac one.
Yeah, about Pac, and he had his information a little off.
Yeah.
And thank goodness he kind of was like during the interview was like, nah, you sure? And sometimes you just got to do that. You know what I mean?
It's how do you? So if you're telling me right now,
because in the comments people were going crazy.
If you tell me right now, I knew Pun and I did this with Pun and I met Pun in 2003. I remember like, you met Pun in 2003.
Right.
Like, oh, but remember when I went to his funeral in 2000? You sure it wasn't
like, right. Maybe you got your timeline mixed up.
Like,
right.
You don't just tell them, oh, you bullshit and like something like that.
You gotta. You know,
that's a proper journalist.
Right. You got to handle it a certain way. So learning to do that, and we came in, we didn't have anything written down that first episode. Yeah. Really the first couple episodes, which is cool, you know. I mean, you know, we're growing. So every episode we analyze it, we learn, and we adjust as we go. But that first one, it was straight freestyle. I didn't do almost no research on Jay Lash. I know that's not a good thing to say.
I didn't either.
But just the way everything happened, because it was a spur of the moment. We weren't even planning on.
We didn't need to because the whole idea for him coming on and for us to interview him was for him to tell his story.
Figure out who he was.
And he had his story ready to go, as you see.
Which is dope.
So that played right in.
Remember, my questions I have so I'm lucky to where I can interview people that I know, but I've done interviews where I don't know nobody. I mean, the EFN Paul. Miami Meets Miami one we just did.
Shout out to Paul.
He gave me 15 names, and then different people were coming through the door, and I was like, all right, fuck it, whatever. We got to get this. So you're going to run into that, and it's okay. It's really okay. And it's good that y'all did it like that.
And a lot of good shit comes out like that, too.
Right. This is just like me, when I do my questions, I got templates. That's what I call them. I call them templates, because there's a lot of shit that I have here that we're going to be 3 hours.
Right.
So I'm going off of feeding off your energy on, okay, you talked about this, let me flip it to that, let me flip it to...
Right.
Because he talked about the oils, but the oils are supposed to be at the end. So,
right.
So like I said, you got to be able to juggle this shit.
And that's why I said...
Let it flow.
That's why I said when I first met you in person, I was like, yo, I know I don't know you, but just off the way you move, I can tell you about your shit. Little details like that, that's exactly how we are. That's why not saying we just gonna freestyle. We got another one we're doing Monday. We got our questions ready for this one. You know what I mean?
And it's gonna be funny because y'all talk about this right now, and then y'all fuck around and be like, that's gonna be your best one where you gonna need the questions now.
Right? Yeah.
It's very spontaneous. Like there's a lot of shit sometimes where you think you got something, and then like I interviewed Jim Jones and I didn't know they had it up there. But we was going crazy. We were supposed to interview Shy K. I don't even know if y'all know. It's a young Shy K. He's a drill rapper from New York.
Oh, okay,
We're supposed to interview him. That got canceled out. So I'm like, and that was supposed to be the big one. So I'm like, fuck. So we trying to scramble around. We're riding through, and they're like, oh, we're gonna get Jones. I was like, oh, shit. I know Jim Jones, but there's shit that I wanted to bring up, but it still worked out. It still worked perfectly.
Right.
So you are gonna juggle a lot, but it's the good thing is y'all enjoy it. So when you enjoy it, it's always gonna work. It's always gonna. Y'all not doing this to become famous or rich.
Exactly.
But let me say this too, right? Like, and I gotta give a shout out to EFN. You know what I'm saying? Because just you know what I'm saying, and I ain't trying to like, you know what I'm saying. What's that word when they say you try to
talking about clout chasing?
Yeah, clout chasing. None of that shit. But I gotta give a big shout to EFN because as far as Black Label Xchange and how it was created too. Just being on a set of Drink Champs, even from the early days as it was building, you know what I'm saying? And me, when I go on set on Drink Champs, I watch everything, you know what I'm saying? And I focus on E, Nori, I focus on the cameras, I focus on how they organize the business aspect of it. You know, so I've always watched E, I followed E, and I know how E works to a certain degree, you know what I mean? So just by me being on the set and seeing how the podcast is formulated, you know, the business aspect of E, you know, you can always have a one-on-one with E when it comes to
anything.
business.
Yeah, anything. Any kind of business.
He open up your tech.
Yeah, definitely.
So all these things help even further the idea of, you know what, let's go forward with this podcast. You know what I mean? Like I said, we started doing this like 3 or 4 years ago, but just recently now, more so that I got Tito involved. For sure.
Gas in and let's go.
Yeah, like he was the missing link for sure. And I waited. Like I talked to all kind of dudes and even had shit set up. Shit never went through. Cool. But when he came through, he was like, yo, let's do it. He had a lot of things going on as well too, you know. So I thought he was gonna reject me. Like, nah, man, I got a lot of shit going on.
How did Kadon say, God did?
God did. When he came in,
right.
he was the missing piece of the puzzle that I needed.
Right.
And like I said, when he did the editing, I said, that's all you got to do, bro. I'll set everything up, connect everything, whatever you could do, you do that too on your end. But I just need you on the editing. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's golden. Now it's
golden,
man. What was the most? What has been? Not most. What was the most? But what has been the most difficult part of this whole podcast thing for you guys?
Oh man, the most difficult part was getting the right key players to really solidify.
Right.
Because you don't want to do something for 6 months and then you die out.
Right.
Who wants to do that? You know what I mean? Especially if you start crazy. So my thing is, if it's gonna be like I said, it goes back to if you're gonna do something, do it for real. You know what I'm saying?
And do it right.
And do it right.
Right.
So
we got to make sure we give a shout out to our other partner, Woozler.
Yeah, shout out to Woozler too.
He's
doing some big things.
He does the camera work, the lightings, and he's doing some big stuff too.
Yeah, we speak.
He's a third member of the. You know, we're the host, so you don't really see Woozler.
Right.
But he's doing
him.
big stuff.
That's right.
Right.
Robbie Joe.
That's your Woozler.
Robbie Joe.
Exactly.
So
key
is the
part
Robbie
of the
Joe
operation.
experience. You got to listen. It's called the
Woozler.
package is called the Robbie Joe experience, and we can talk numbers, but it goes.
Right.
Robbie Joe can make movies, so shout out to Woozler.
Yeah, definitely. That's our Robbie Joe right there.
Yeah, okay.
So just between the three of us, you'll think it's a whole production team behind our podcast. It's just 3 dudes.
But it is. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Fuck thinking that. Just because you ain't got 50 people on that crew, you do have a full production crew. You have a whole production crew.
And sometimes
don't undersell yourself. No,
Sure.
Don't undersell yourself because, like he said, when we pulled up, it was just me, Robbie, and her, and he's like, bro, y'all got this, y'all got that. And he went to the event like, these boys.
You remember? I was questioning.
He was talking to Robbie. He's talking to Robbie.
I didn't say what you do is how you do it.
Yeah,
you know
Robbie, he was sitting behind a spaceship. I don't know. He had, Star Trek, Captain Kirk. When they go into the spaceship,
when Robbie get in the
he was
zone,
behind one of those.
He got buttons,
I
levels,
was
and all
like,
type of
what's
shit.
that?
he comes with a whole wheelbarrow about as big as this table right here.
Yeah, no,
Hey, that's what's up,
and
though.
it's packed to the top. So like I said, when he works, you don't
when
see that smile.
See, when I see that shit, that's the shit get me hyped. I know I said it 2 times already, but when I see, like, matter of fact, when you drop the interviews you had from the Miami, I was just looking at how you was working in the comments. I was like, oh, this dude's all over the place. Like, somebody comment,
you have to.
And just that work ethic, that's the shit I respect. That's the shit gets me hyped because I like to work with like-minded people that's grinders. You can make some shit happen when you don't got nothing and still make shit happen. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And people be surprised you try to do something, it's like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, or you trying to wait till the time is perfect, but the time is never perfect. You'll never do it if you're waiting for that.
Robbie Jones, Robbie Jones' words is always, and it's always us, but it's like, we got to figure it out.
For sure.
He said, we got to figure it out.
And that's all you need.
Figure it out.
You need someone that's going to say, man, fuck all that, we're going to figure this out.
Make it happen.
Definitely. For the people, well, let me go back to that, because like you said, answering these comments and things like that, being active and being so meticulous into this, what people don't understand is this does come at a cost. You see, a lot of motherfuckers, that's what they don't understand, the difference of doing it and half-assing it.
Right.
So when you're doing it, this is gonna come at a cost. This is gonna take time from your family, your spouse, your job, your everything. I mean, you know, it could get your significant other angry that you sitting there responding every time to your phone.
right.
You know, and they can't understand it.
Right.
As much as they say they want to understand it, they really can't understand it. They look at it as like, okay, but you can go and respond to that person on a comment later on. You're sitting with me right now. But when you have that passion in you, it's giving you anxiety not to go and fulfill what you're trying to do.
The good thing in my side, my wife, you know, like I said, she was in the rap group.
No, she's in it. She's
totally
in it.
understands.
But I'm trying to speak to the people.
Right, who don't
that's
understand
my next topic.
That. Right,
is,
okay.
For the people that don't know how much research it really takes to do a proper podcast.
Right.
Because we all know there's podcasters out there they're just drier than a chalkboard in Arizona.
Right.
For sure.
You know, so how much work does it really take to do a podcast?
I think it takes planning, man. A lot of planning. And you got to be real with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. Like I said, you got to talk to people that are actually in this business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And one of my mentors, once again, I always fall back to EFN because he's just that guy for me when it comes to getting information and moving forward on things. I seek his opinion on a lot of things, on certain things, you know, and I seek his opinion on this podcast thing. And you know what he told me? He said, listen, bro. And he told me straight up, ain't no sugarcoat with him.
No.
Because I consider my big brother, so that don't mean shit. I get that big brother treatment. He shuts down like 90% of the shit ideas I tell him. Right. So I just go do it. I just go do it on my own terms and make it happen.
Right.
But he said, listen, bro, like real talk, like if you're not gonna do this for at least 6 months to a year consistently, don't even waste your freaking time, bro. Find something that you got passion for and play with that. Right. But don't play with this if you're not gonna waste people, because you waste people's time, wasting your own time, your own resources,
family's time,
all that. Family's time. So when he instilled that, and he said that a few times, was like, don't play.
Right.
And then this is something that saying that I've instilled in myself, and also with my partner, he already has it in him. Like I said, it's getting the right people, man, to move forward. Right. But you got to plan, and you got to come up with a concept on how you want to, what you want to talk about, and what you want to present to the world. Right. You know what I mean?
And I think what it is, it's going to be anything you're trying to do is going to take work, no matter what it is. If you're trying to be the best at it, especially,
Facts.
And I think what works like with our relationship in this is that we literally been through all type of shit. We done fell out before, real brotherhood. And we're never afraid, even if it might hurt our feelings, we never afraid to tell, hey, bruh, that shit's kind of like, nah, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we kind of check each other, but that keep us maintained. You know, if I'm out there, if I'm wilding out too much, bruh, reel me in, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
I lost 100 pounds because of Robbie Joe telling me your belly's too big on that camera.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations,
Robbie, am I lying?
There you go.
Congratulations.
We did like 6-7 episodes, maybe a whole season. He's like, bruh, I gotta talk to you. And he knows me. I'm not a person that's gonna take nothing offensive. Like you can tell me, Litty, your beard. He's like, bro, I say, bro, give it to me. He's like, bro, every time you on the camera, it don't matter how you sitting, the belly is just everywhere. Like I can't hide this shit. And he said, it don't look good.
The belly's
it don't look good. And he said, it don't look good. You know, I gained back a little bit of weight here and there, but I still go to the gym. But
I know the struggle, bro.
I see you in the gym. I still do. I'm heavy, but I don't fuck off in the gym. Anybody that wants to see me, we can see me. But
right.
But it was honestly just a honest opinion as a producer.
And that's what we need.
Right.
You need that, bro. You need that.
Even if you don't want to hear that shit at first, still like once you like peep it out like that, okay, yeah.
Well, you see, I'm not a
know what I mean?
self-conscious person. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I've always been heavy, but when he's telling me aesthetically on the camera it's not making sense, I got to take that into consideration.
Right. Definitely.
This is the man that's projecting this out to make the
Right.
world. So if he's giving me the opinion of, yo, it just, you know, you cool, everybody loves you, but the shit's just is cringy how
Right,
I'm looking.
right,
You know
right,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Like, if I got a doofus ass haircut, or if I'm going bald and my shit's up here, but I'm still trying to, you know, just DMX
let
like
it know,
this.
son.
Yeah,
You straight. You like Big Pun. You good, man.
You know the vibes is Litty Willie from Litty Productions. I want to thank everybody that's been supporting us, sharing, liking, commenting, doing all that good stuff. Just to let y'all know, we got Instagram live videos, we got YouTube videos, we got all kinds of different productions. That's why we call ourselves Litty Productions. Make sure y'all hit me up if y'all looking for something at Litty Willie _. Litty Show Productions on Instagram, all that good stuff. Just make sure you hit me up. We out.
It's the Litty Show. The Litty Show.
You know the fucking vibe, man.
All right, fellas. So I'm gonna ask you both. If you had a chance to do a podcast, one person dead, one person alive, who would they be? I need an answer from each of y'all.
Shit.
Who you asking first? He gonna take. I know we probably gonna take. Yeah.
Let Tito go first. Let Tito go first.
Well, let Tito. You want to let him go first, man? What you want to let me
Nah,
go
go
first?
ahead. Go ahead. Lil Rock. You go first. Because I already know one we gonna
You already
pick,
know.
but go ahead.
But I'm gonna say it first. Tupac
all day.
Okay, Tupac dead?
Yeah,
Tupac
Tupac dead.
dead, yeah.
And you said a live artist?
Yeah, y'all don't have to have the same answers. Just so
Nah,
y'all
but
know.
that's who we want.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
y'all
already
both
know.
can
I
have
already
that.
know that's
Tupac.
gonna be it.
Yeah,
You
we
know what I'm
got
saying?
Tupac fans.
For the
So
dead,
alive?
for the dead ones, live.
I let him go on the
Nah,
live
you
one.
can go on that one. I need time to think real quick.
Yeah, I gotta think.
Anybody. It's like,
Nah,
remember,
it
that's
gotta
not to
be
be
rapper,
hip hop.
though.
It could be any
Anything.
president. It could be anybody. Anything, anybody.
You know I wouldn't mind interviewing if I could. I know I gotta get my game up, but Louis Farrakhan, man.
Okay.
Louis
Is
Farrakhan. I know his granddaughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think she's still friends with me, but
Oh.
you know what I'm saying. But she used to come to Miami, Lil Haiti. I met her Lil Haiti. Matter of fact, EFN introduced me to his granddaughter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, she lives in Georgia. She's an activist in Georgia. She's very heavy. You seen her on
I see.
yeah. So I met his granddaughter, but Louis Farrakhan
Now
because
mine. Oh, no, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the reason why Louis Farrakhan because, and I'm not trying to use this as like a stepping ladder or something, but Louis Farrakhan, when I listen to him, regardless of the Muslim stuff, I'm not Muslim, but outside of that, his teachings remind me of kind of like my grandfather.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? Certain values, and beliefs, and what it takes to organize and community and to
Organization.
grow and build.
Dope.
So he will remind me. It'll almost be like sitting down with him, would like be talking to my grandfather to a certain degree.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now mine. I'm not sure, and maybe it's bad. I don't know this, but is Nelson Mandela still alive?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes.
I would want
That's
it-
why they call it the Mandela effect, because people think he's dead and he's not
Oh,
dead.
okay.
Yeah.
That's my
thought he passed
personal
away.
life.
Maybe recently. I mean, we
You
can
sure?
fact
can
check.
double check.
Yeah, we got fact check with him.
Oh,
I think he go.
Robbie, can you Google that for me real quick as we're talking? Is Nelson Mandela still alive? That's why they call it the Mandela effect, because people used to think that he was dead, but in reality,
Okay, because I heard that term, but I didn't know what
yeah, that's
was
where it
behind
came
that
from.
term.
Because people always confuse it, like he's dead, and then they were like,
Right.
"No, wait, he's
Nah,
not."
he died in 2005.
Yeah, he passed away.
2013.
13.
Yeah,
See, it was
wow.
close, but
I know he passed away.
Oh, so that's the person alive. Okay.
alive. We still need. I
Oh,
interviewed.
wow.
I
You was waiting
interviewed
a
Al
long
Sharpton.
time.
Al Sharpton.
I interviewed Al
Oh, yeah?
Sharpton.
Oh, damn.
You know,
Okay.
I'll go. I'm gonna reel it back to hip
It's not on
hop.
camera though.
I'm gonna go with Master P.
Oh, okay.
I would go because he's one of those dudes that the industry dudes.
Yeah.
He's kind of like an outlier.
And he got the keys.
But you know, it's funny. He
Right.
said that I met Master P on Drink Champs, and I actually talked.
Yeah,
I got a
he
picture
did.
of Master P too.
Okay.
I talked to Master P for a good minute.
Cause he was getting that independent money. Those deals
Master
way
P would be a
before
good
like
interview. That'd be a good interview. Yeah. He gonna put some game. He gonna put some game on to you.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good.
Because
one, bro.
my thing, though, the people that they try to frame as crazy or problems, them the motherfuckers that really know shit,
Right.
and they don't want you to know what they know, so they frame them as crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when people they try to make different celebrities or certain people make like they're crazy, something wrong or their problems. I never believe that shit off top.
Right.
I do a little more research into the people because
It's always the people that go against the system. They
Right.
consider crazy.
Yeah.
we're fed.
I've been preaching about this for Kanye
Right.
for a while, but everybody called
Exactly.
me crazy.
It's-
But
that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're fed so much misinformation that when people finally hear what the real
is?
truth is, it sounds ridiculous.
right, of course.
You
Of
know what I'm
course.
saying?
Of course.
Shame on you.
Of course. Mine will be So dead,
Yeah.
obviously, best rapper, dead or alive, doesn't matter. He's, my opinion, is Big Pun.
Okay. Shout out Big
Y'all
Pun.
can argue
Rest
me
in
all you
peace.
want, but that's my, that's my,
No,
that's my,
you
just
think.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He taught me 90% of everything of what I know as being a Hispanic male heavy set fella.
Boricua, is that how you say it?
Yeah. And then it just well, you know what? Like I told you, I don't speak Spanish, so I wasn't really proud Hispanic. I was a Hispanic guy, but I didn't follow my
I got you.
But when I seen Big Pun being proud, but he was an English speaking person like me and you, but can relate. Because remember, I was raised in New York. But I wasn't raised in the Hispanic neighborhood. I was raised in a black neighborhood.
Got it.
So when I was around Hispanic people, it was actually foreign for me because I didn't speak Spanish. I used to put on record. I used to get beat up by Spanish people because it was a Latin King group. But I used to hang out with black bloods in Soundview Projects. Those were my friends, and those were the people. So when I would go home, they would like shun me for that. And, oh, you gotta so.
And not to cut y'all, but I understand that because I'm not even going to mention their name, but we used to be with a record label, and it was pretty much all Zoes, and they kind of used to treat him that way because he didn't speak Creole.
And you stood on the outside, and he was like, they would try to like make me rock with them, and it's like, oh wait a minute, you ain't representing like us, and you rocking with the opposition. It's like, what the fuck? Man, when long story short, Pun gave me that pride. Like, okay, first we big, second we can still get girls. Oh, and we Hispanic, and we rock with everybody. Pun got love from everybody. It wasn't just the Hispanic culture; it was everybody. So, long story short, Pun, my dead and alive. Being the I got two, and I hate to be the guy to say two, but French is my number one realistically, but unrealistically would be Jay-Z.
French Montana?
Yeah, French Montana. French Montana was one of my influences for my show just as much as Drink Champs and everybody else, but French Montana started his Coke Waves DVDs. Remember that? Coke Waves DVDs, the interviews. So he would go around interviewing people and play his music in the background. That's how he started getting his. I did that. I started my show with my brother. Me and my brother had the show for 3 years before he took off on it. But he's a rapper. My brother's my favorite rapper. That's the most laziest rapper. But but I did it for him. I did the show for him. So I was like, yo, let's do a podcast. In between, let's play your music. And people were like, yo, who the fuck is that? And I learned that from French. So a lot of people don't understand French's history. They just understand him now. But how he came up is...
When you said French, I was going to ask you like what the reason, but okay.
He's got a big... Like, he's the type of person that could make this speaker look like a diamond. He's good at just making something look dope and staying relevant. But anyway, but Jay my number one.
Yeah, I was thinking about Jay, but yeah. That's
interview with
Jay-Z
is...
Yeah. Because first of all, he don't
interview him right now though.
Because he don't give interviews like that in the first place. So he can land one of those, you know.
He can land that.
Him and Puffy, let that shit fly over right now. Hey, don't tell them what's going on with them boys right now.
So we getting ready to close out. So I got a couple personal questions with you guys. About 4 or 5 of them, but I want you guys to answer honestly,
for sure,
and quickly. But not quickly to be in a rush. But we don't need too much definition to it. I just need to know the if, when, why, and how. If you could instantly master one skill or any talent, what would it be, and what would you use it to impact the world with?
You want to go on that?
I'm not even gonna pick
Tito
nobody.
goes
No
first.
I want you to pick your boy.
No, I ain't gonna pick nobody. I learned the last one.
I mean, I can answer that. You said master a skill. I guess at this point right now, since we in this podcast business or whatever the case is, more so now get into the journalism.
Mm-hmm. How would you use that to impact the world?
To be able to interview key people that change the world. Ask them the proper questions to see what did it take them. You know, for example, like if I'm interviewing Elon Musk, you know what you know, I'm in IT and I got an IT background. Like, what made you become Elon Musk? You know, and look at the inventions that you already created and how that's impacting the world. So what made you want to come up with those inventions to impact the world in that matter? In your mind, you gotta remember, like, geniuses, if we're using their products or we're using their services, you gotta remember we're into their world, into their thoughts,
their minds.
Right? Yeah. So we become part of their thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that, like, you create something and have other people to be part of that, you actually got people supporting your thoughts.
Hell yeah.
Before it become reality. So right now would be more like looking to the whole journalism
mastering the skill of journalism.
Yeah, in order to perfect or become better at the craft of what we're doing right now.
And Tito?
For me, it's kind of similar, but I'll say master the gift of gab, just speech, and to speak to large groups of people.
I feel like you have that, but I think the only thing that's stopping you is your humbleness.
He ain't that humble, man.
No, but he, bro.
When it's time to be,
I think generally he comes off humble because I think he values respect over more than everything, and he never wants to step on toes.
I mean, with me, I'll say my humbleness also comes from being confident too. My thing is, I'm a type of dude. You know, we got this thing about grown men, especially with the black culture. It's a big deal to give another black man a compliment.
Urban culture, I call it.
Right,
because,
right. So I won't even say black, but just with me, that don't bother me at all because I'm confident in what I do and who I am. So
I just told this motherfucker his oil smell good.
Right, exactly. Grown man said, right, exactly.
That shit smell good.
Right.
That's why you go get a whole pack.
Right.
See how I plug it in.
Right. So if you're confident in who you are,
Yeah.
it don't bother me at all to tell them, hey, tight work, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Good job.
Right.
So, but as far as speech and how I would use that to change the world is that, if you go through history, sometimes a good speaker can unite people.
Yes.
Look what Bob Marley did on stage. Hey, y'all fighting, these two men standing on stage, y'all fighting over these dudes and they not fighting each other.
What's the point?
They on stage standing together.
You got Marcus Garvey.
You know what I mean? Right.
Marcus Garvey.
So I would use that to bring people together. You know what I mean?
Okay. And like I said, my boy Robbie Joe here, he's not working. I just invited him because I haven't seen him so long. So I said, come kick it at the crib and chill.
Well, we glad he can kick it too, you know?
I wish we would have brought some more Haitian food with him. You talking about throw away the beef. You should have gave it to me. You know what I mean? I'm telling your mama what I said here. Say, madame, vagabond, okay? Vagabond.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
Jeez.
And what would be that burning one question you would ask them?
That's a good question.
Man, you know it's funny, man.
Bro?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
That's a good one.
It gotta be my grandfather, man.
Okay. And what would that be, that one question you want to ask him? Got to be that top one.
You know what I ask him? If he's watching, I believe he's watching. I'm like, am I doing this properly? And that's something, that's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna leave it right there.
Okay. Mine is, I'm gonna go way back in the days. I'm gonna go with Frederick Douglass.
Ooh.
A boy to
You
the
know?
back.
Way back.
I'm gonna go with Frederick Douglass, and pretty much the question, you know, because we talking about a whole nother time period. You know what I mean? Where educated black man is like illegal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, and I mean, my question will be just, how did you navigate? You know, not knowing how old you were, like, you know, coming from
Challenges.
from that. How did you navigate through life and still become a person that's remembered in history?
Man, that's a deep answer, bro. That's
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because you know, we have no idea how that is. You know what I mean?
Right.
My
So
question, mine would be to Lincoln. I would tell him straight. Was it for the politics or was it for the people?
That's a good one. I would say politics, but
I want to know.
that's a good question. That's
You had to ask him because maybe it was for the people.
Yeah,
But the politics got in the way.
But
Or
what,
both.
no, I'm saying,
Both.
what
Both
what
the
did
main
he?
driving
What would you?
force.
Why'd you free them?
Right.
Was it for the votes or was it really for the people?
Right.
Good question. That's a good way to narrow it down.
Because a lot of people don't know, and not to take nothing away from Lincoln, but he still had a mentality that the African people were still mentally inferior.
That's
than
why
the
I
white
wanted to.
man.
That's why I
You
wanted to
what I
know
mean?
what was your mindset. What did you really think about
Right.
the black people?
Right. Because history is written by the winners.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Exactly. Oh, you could have put it.
You know what I mean?
You could have
So-
put it no
Yeah,
better
about
than
that,
that.
you know.
If you could erase one major mistake from your life, what would it be, and how do you think your life would be different if you didn't make that mistake?
You know what? I wouldn't change nothing, man.
Not one.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
If I changed anything in history, I wouldn't be here right now, or even accomplish the things that regardless the wins and the losses and the bounce backs. There's nothing to regret in life.
Right. And
You know what I mean?
and not to sound so repetitive, but literally that's my question. That's my same answer because everything you go through in life,
It's a lesson.
like we said earlier, as long as you keep going, it's building you.
Yeah.
You know, I just told my niece today, said she was going through some things. She's 20, going through some things. I said, look, there's no losses. There's only wins and there's lessons.
Facts.
You know, and things you go through, that's what builds you up. You know, this stuff, like, I won't even go so deep into it, but, you know, I was hit by a car on a job. I got ran over.
Wow.
Yeah.
7 broken ribs, broken nose, I've had 3 surgeries from it. Punctured lung. Yeah. Lost the sense of taste for 2 months. I mean,
that's bad for you as a
you know what I mean? Right.
I can say everything else is bad for you.
Yeah. Oh, it was out of all the shit, that was the worst thing that bothered me the most. I can't taste my food. Like, that shit is torture. You know what I mean?
Right.
But even going through that, I say to this day, that was the best day of my life because, and that's why they say be careful what you ask for. Yeah. You know, I worked for the post office, and I got hit on the job. I wasn't even supposed to be working that day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I got clean ran over by 18-year-old. You know, I won't go too deep into it, but dude lost control. You know, his car ran over, and for me to bounce back out of that, it like the reason I say it was the best thing that happened to me because now I haven't worked a regular job like that since. I do my shit is straight hustle and I get my own business type shit. But I spent the most time I ever did with my kids, with my wife. You know, I'm present. You know what I mean? And it just enabled me to have time to do shit like spend hours editing the podcast, coming down to Miami, making the business moves we got to make. So that shit was a blessing to me, and I got through it. I mean, at the time, shit was real. I literally almost died. You know what I'm saying? Right. But just to get past that and keep going, it made me appreciate life. I never take a day for granted. You know, that's part of also my humbleness. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if I had $1 billion in my bank account the day I got hit, that shit wouldn't have helped the way I felt.
No. You can't do nothing.
And I mention my wife, like anybody knows me, I mention my wife so much because I've been with my wife, I'm 45. We've been together since we was 18, 19. And through every phase, from the brokest stages of our lives to when I got ran over, my wife had to bathe me, bro. I couldn't even use the bathroom myself.
To second that, but listen, because you said, no, if I had $1 billion in my bank account, it wouldn't mean shit. That's why faith and health are probably more
not even
significant
probably, bro.
No, because think about it.
Real.
Look at how amazing the body works. Because look at how you're standing, breathing, looking fucking amazing today, versus a motherfucker that had $8 billion and died from it, but maybe got into the same action than you did.
Right. I could have been paralyzed. Now, if I showed you pictures, you'd be
dead,
like, what
just
the fuck?
dead, like he said. And look, like, I mean, you're fine. I mean, you got scars, but
right. I got shit.
For a person to see you and hear what you went through,
right.
What the fuck? You're not supposed to. The human body is crazy. Like
exactly. And you'd be surprised how much your mental has to do with that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So,
that's the faith.
Right.
That's the second part. That faith.
But we also got to understand, we got angels in the sky.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, his mother passed away. His mother was a very sweet, beautiful woman. You know what I mean?
She said, it's not
she used to tell him, call Winnie and make sure he come by the house and have Thanksgiving with us. Yeah. But listen, my old girl didn't give a shit. She was like, listen,
nah, don't do that.
Take care of your shit. You raise yourself, like. So my you know, that's why I was still in Richmond Heights, because my partners became a family.
Yeah, it was a family.
Him, Chuck Dallas, and the list go on. The list go on. But I spent a lot of holidays with him and my other partners, God bless him, with their family. You know what I'm saying? Versus my own family.
Right.
You know, so he had angels with him, man, and that's what I tell him. Like, man, listen, like, you know, give glory to God, man, and also give glory to your angels, man, to your mom and your grandmother.
She took care of you already, like if you were still here. She took
care
of the accident. She said, listen,
she's like, no, you ain't coming. You joining me. Yeah, you going back.
You getting fixed up, go back home.
Yeah, you going back. You going back.
Right.
Not yet. It ain't your time yet. You going back. You know?
That's something money can't buy, brother. God bless.
Nah, man,
God bless.
For sure,
definitely.
man.
God bless.
I'm so blessed, man, that he's here next to me, man. Like, cause he's my brother.
And doing something amazing.
Nah, for sure.
And doing something amazing.
Right, and it's like, bro, like, I know we don't got time for all that, but dog, the shit me and right. Like the shit me and him been through, just as homies and partners and the shit, it's crazy. So it's like at my lowest points, he's been there, like straight up, and vice versa. Like, so it was never a question. Like even the shit we kind of fell off, it was just inevitable. We came back together, which just made our relationship even more stronger. You know what I mean? And like I say, like the bond is there. So when we do things like the podcast and all the shit, the chemistry is just automatic. We don't even have to try to do shit. We just be ourselves.
There's no work. There's no blueprint. It's just let's sit down and talk our shit.
Yeah.
I want to give you guys the opportunity for shout outs. Now, some people get cringy on this because like I don't want to forget nobody. So if you can say shout out everybody, you can say shout out everybody. But any shout outs that y'all want to give that's directly to that camera?
Nah, for sure, man. I want to give a shout out to my brother, my older brother.
Shout out Ross.
Ross. Shout out to my brother Ross. Shout out to my father. Shout out to my uncles. You know what I mean? Shout out to DB or Tito.
TD.
Y'all call him Lady B. A lot of shout outs, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shout outs, but more so just, you know, shout out to everybody, man. Family and friends that I actually communicate with, actually talk to, actually respond to. And as the years go on, it gets less and less and less. You know, that's something that my grandparents used to tell me. Like my grandmother used to say, "Hey, you tell my grandmother, you got friends?" She's like, "What friends?
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as friends." You know,
God starts showing you the real ones as you get older.
I never understood it. I'm like, I got thousands of friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no friends. But as I got older, I started realizing she didn't mean ain't no friends. She just mean that people that you think your friends are really not your friends, but time will show you who truly are your friends.
Fact. That's a big fact.
And this is what it is.
Big
you know
old
what I'm saying?
F-size titty fact. That's a big fact.
Right. So I give a shout out to, I give a shout out to EFF for sure. That's my big brother,
Definitely.
the whole Crazy Hood camp.
And the new episode out, Met the Man.
Yeah,
Well, make sure y'all check it out.
Now, for sure, y'all check that out with Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying?
Tito, shout outs.
Well, I'm always go with the wifey. Shout out Lady B, aka Toya, aka Princess Jasmine.
Okay.
To the fam, all the kids. My oldest son, he's actually a director. He out in California.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kill.
Shout out.
And all my kids, I'm putting that entrepreneurial spirit in them. I'm trying to, keep that going.
Dad's on YouTube. Y'all be watching YouTube all day. Your
sir.
dad's on
You know what I'm
YouTube.
saying? So represent all the kids. And I ain't gonna put all their names out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But of course, shout out to the whole Crazy Hood fam. They like fam to us. You know what I'm saying? Good people. True grinders, you know what I'm saying? They're a true team.
My brothers, man.
Right.
They're our brothers, man.
Of course, shout out to my homie. I know that's crazy. We giving shout outs to each other, but we gonna, we give, and I'm gonna give a big shout out to Litty Willie.
Hey,
that's what I'm gonna do though, for sure.
Vibes.
You know what I mean? And
And Robbie in the back.
Robbie
for sure.
Robbie Joe.
It's all love.
I'm telling his mom he's throwing away her food. He gotta get his whooping. He gotta get his hook club. I'm sorry. We all go through it. He gotta go through it. He gonna be mad at me. He might come after me. But it's gonna take a lot for him to get
Robbie
to
Joe's like the kid from Everybody Hates Chris, bro. He don't get no break from nowhere. He turn around, look at the camera.
Right.
Ain't no camera there.
But let me give
pretty
a
much
shout
shout out to everybody who fuck with the Bandits, who fuck with the Black Label Exchange.
Shout out to y'all.
All the supporters, every person who
got some good support.
clicks that like button, subscribe button, follow button, who takes their time. You could be doing anything.
Shout out to
but
y'all.
You put time in watching us.
Yeah.
Man, we love and respect and
Love and
appreciate
respect y'all,
that.
for sure.
So shout out to everybody out
And
there.
one more shout out. I forgot. I want to mention my babies, Kadon. That's my son.
Okay, Don Jr.
Yeah, I gave him my name.
Okay,
Yeah.
My street name.
the street name.
Now we really about this. Like that's his son. Yeah.
I gave him
Well,
my son.
my son is the fourth.
And
I'm the
Ariana.
third.
Oh, okay.
Ariana.
For sure.
Ariana.
Yeah. Keep the legacy
Son and
going.
daughter.
Definitely, man.
And talking about Black Exchange Podcast, where can they find that and watch it individually? Where can they find the podcast?
I let him do that.
Okay,
part.
yeah.
No, I mean it's pretty much YouTube is the main source. YouTube, Black Label Exchange. That's exchange without the E. So X and change. So
Right.
Black Label Exchange.
That's right.
And Instagram on IG is Black Label Exchange 24. Facebook Black Label Exchange. And TikTok, same thing, Black Label Exchange. Twitter, it's pretty much Black Label Exchange without the E. Like I said, you'll find us on there.
And let me remind y'all, it's free.
Free.
All you got to do is subscribe to the channel. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing to just press the button, subscribe. That's all it does. It don't cost you no. You ain't put your credit card. You ain't got to put nothing.
Right.
Y'all be paying for all kinds of other crazy shit,
Right.
but y'all can't just press a single. Y'all be liking these half naked women. Y'all be liking them shit. Y'all be liking them sneakers and clicking. Just click the subscribe button to the Black Exchange and to the Litty Show Productions.
And to Litty
Please.
Show. Hey, big shout out to Litty
big
Show
shout out,
Production.
man. Matter of fact, man, I can speak for both of us on that, man. We appreciate
For sure.
coming down. We was
sure.
excited the whole week, ready to come through this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this is solidified right now. I have other guests that came on our show and solidified.
Yeah.
But we're gonna solidify this right now as far as Tito and myself. That the Litty Willie show, man, they the first ones to really sit down and really interview us.
And show us that love.
And show us
like
that love and really
Definitely.
dig and do his homework. Like I'm impressed. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like
all the way.
And this is kind of the reason why I was telling you, like, If we gonna fuck with anybody, the interview us.
Man, we
Let's
fuck with
him.
who fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Straight up.
Shout out to Litty Willie. Shout out to Robbie Joe in the back.
Shout out to
I'm
Robbie.
still telling his mom. He eating all his
And
Haitian
he gonna
food.
eat mad. He eating that food. Huh?
Closing quote and closing quote or closing message to either the youth or somebody that's watching that needs some kind of pickup. Y'all can each have your
Okay.
individual one. Go ahead,
got
and
it.
after that, we closing.
I'm gonna jump in. It's a quick line, and this can apply for everybody. Actions speak more than all that shit. Just remember
Speak
that.
louder than words. For sure.
Your actions speak more than any other shit you can do.
You know, to that individual kid or whatever the case is, or a young adult, whatever the case is, listen, man, you gotta be your own person, your own man. You gotta live amongst your own imaginations and your own dreams. Like,
Definitely.
stop following the crowd, man. It's the problem. You know what I mean? You have to stick out. Don't stand in the crowd. Stand out of the crowd. You know what I mean? And go ahead and don't be afraid to pursue your passion, who you are, you know, whatever it is, and always give back to the community. You know what I mean? And do the best you can, and be careful of your surroundings too. You know, my grandfather used to tell us, my grandmother used to tell us all the time. Listen, you show me your friends, and I can tell you who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Real
And that's
talk.
real. So keep
Real
a good
talk.
circle around, a good circle of people around you. Don't be afraid to let people go, and don't be afraid to be by yourself.
Right.
Just follow your goal, man, and stay focused,
Keep it
because
going.
you don't know how far you're gonna go in life. And people drop off as time goes on. Trust me.
You'll be alright, though.
You know?
Right. And
You'll
one
be
last
alright,
thing.
You'll be alright. You know.
When you put yourself out there, it takes a little guts sometimes, but you'll be surprised who you inspire. You're gonna inspire people you won't never even meet in your life. And it's people you inspire.
And it's people
whether
sitting on high
whether
ends,
niggas
too.
give you your credit or not, when you out there doing your thing, niggas see you. They see you.
Yeah.
We
Real
know y'all see us.
real
We
recognize
doing
real,
what
yeah.
we do. So it's all gravy. Like they say, imitation is the highest form of flattery.
That's a fact.
We gonna keep going.
You know the fucking vibes. I'm Litty Willie. This is Kadon and Tito from the Black
Label Exchange.
Black.
Label.
I had to stop.
Yeah.
You gotta say
No, we can get it.
Like
I'd rather you get it right. So
You have to like Black Label Exchange
There you go.
Podcast.
All day, baby.
This is I got a story to tell. Make sure y'all subscribe, watch the story, and we out. You know the fucking vibes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
For sure.
Yes,
We
All
gotta
love,
pull out
bro.
these chairs.